What is going on, everybody? It is episode 872 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, and I am here once again with my co-host. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. You will be pleased to learn that the pierogies are secured today.
They have been.
We have 2 each. You can't tell because they all look the same on the outside, but one is loaded baked potato.
Like all Eastern Europeans.
And one is cheddar. We'll be trying them, and it's a rainy day. There's nothing like pierogies on a rainy day. And
Nobody said nobody ever.
I just did.
Okay.
For the first time. Tate is joining us for this feast.
Hello, everyone. I'm here for the feast. This feels very sacramental, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how to feel about that as a Catholic.
Or, yeah, you do like that? Isn't that what people do on YouTube?
Oh, yeah. Pierogi haul.
Yeah.
Guys, this is my loaded baked potato pierogi.
Guys, welcome back to the Balkan Hall. Next, I have a rocket launcher from the Soviet era.
Yeah. So, how excited are you?
I'm very excited. I expect that as soon as I get done eating this, I will transform into an Adidas tracksuit, and I will immediately start taking bribes.
If it goes too far,
You're
if you
gonna
eat too
flee
many,
the country. You're gonna go back to Poland.
Yeah,
like,
I wouldn't be surprised. And he eats like too many, and you just go all the way back and become like a pagan in a loincloth.
I'm gonna do that. Okay. All right.
And fair warning, these are probably the most mid pierogies you're ever gonna have.
Okay. Well, let's give it a shot. Here we go.
Chew as loudly as possible. I'm gonna try mine. I don't know which one this is.
Yeah,
I think this is potato.
I think this is the loaded baked potato one.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good.
Okay. Do you have a rating?
It's the type of thing where like these were made like in the microwave, right?
Right.
Like so, I imagine if you had like a Nona who made like her own.
Well, that's Italian. What do they have in
It
Poland?
was a joke. I don't know. A babushka.
Oh,
Whoa.
right. A babushka.
If my
with
babushka,
a scarf around her head.
If my babushka was still alive and made them, they would probably be really, really good.
You can taste the tension from a looming ice raid in this pierogi. Like they know it's coming.
I mean, cheddar one is way better.
The fear of Germany is strong with this.
It does taste very speed bumpy.
Yeah. Again, like I already feel like I'm about to start bribing politicians or be the politician that's getting bribed.
You gotta like have the gold chain.
Yeah.
Start squatting.
I could
Just
do that.
Staring out of windows.
Embrace your Slav culture.
I used to live in a very Polish neighborhood, and there was no police needed because the babushkas would just stare out the windows at all times.
It hit you with a freaking broom.
Dude, it was like Law and Order, dude. It was crazy.
Like the broom was to the babushka, which the shoe was to your the chancla.
Right.
The chancla thing is very like when you call it a flip flop, it's way less threatening. Oh, you gotta hit with a flip flop.
Did you see the person made like a boomerang out of took 2 like flip flops and made a boomerang as the ultimate chancla?
I think this is like cheese. Is this cheese?
Yeah. Did you try the other one yet? This is the cheddar one.
This one's very nice.
I like the first one better.
Really? I think the cheddar one's better.
I like the loaded baked potato one.
Okay, so you finally admit that you don't hate food from your ancestral homeland.
Yes. Okay. I will.
Do we have the full admission? This is all I wanted, really.
I.
Can you
Brett
swear on the
Vasovic,
pierogi?
Swears on the pierogi that this is good, despite the fact that I've slandered them for years. Now, perhaps the best way to show that is if like I go to a restaurant sometime soon and like they're on the menu, I'll order some and I'll post it on X.
I don't know if we have like an abundance of Polish restaurants in this area.
I don't even know how I could do that either because I don't have X on my phone anymore. Now like posting stuff with screenshots way harder when you have to like transfer it to a desktop. So
you're sitting there notarizing, you're like, oh, that's gonna be good. Yeah.
Wait a minute. What's your ancestry?
Scottish.
Okay.
Scottish.
Have you tried haggis?
Oh yeah, deep fried haggis.
What?
Deep
fried haggis?
Yeah, and you
I didn't know
pair
that
it
was a
with
thing.
like a nice. Oh, an iron brew. You could pair it with an iron brew. That'd be nice. Have you ever had Buckfast? Do you know what Buckfast is? Bucky.
No.
It's like a tonic wine that has like 400 milligrams of caffeine in it, and they banned it in the U.S.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
What was the meme? There's literally the post on X that was viral like a couple of weeks ago. It was like life was better when I could buy lemonade from Panera that could kill me.
Yeah, that's what Buckfest is. Surge has been trying to figure out how to get it over here for years.
I mean, I'm down for the 400 milligrams of caffeine.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, like you just drink it and just want to fight
so
someone.
It's wine?
It's like a tonic wine, and it's associated with like criminality.
I'm already
It's
in.
like an elixir for delinquency.
I need this.
Yeah.
I need this
It's
in
wonderful.
my life.
All right, guys. So again, thank you for helping us complete this goal, and I have paid my debt
And
to
also,
you all.
apologies for being a day late on the pierogies.
It's okay. But hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Please and thank you. Remember to share the segments and the live streams out with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Perhaps if they're Polish, you can share it with them while eating a pierogi. And then remember to argue about it in the comments section with everybody in your life that you don't like as well, because it increases our engagement. So what are we getting into today? Well, Jojo Siwa is now a conservative icon. She is she's dressing like what did
you say? Said, gay Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah, she's gay Marilyn Monroe. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about her lightning fast pivot. Like she could play pro sports with with a fake out that quick. So we're gonna get into that. We are also gonna talk about Lana Del Rey, who she had comments about the floods, and after she made her comments about the floods, they're like,
said,
"But what
why
about?
are you talking about Gaza?
But what about Palestine?"
And then she did.
That was a very good Marge Simpson, by the way. Homie, what about Gaza?
I'm just offended that Lana still hasn't broken her silence on what's going on in the Congo. But
I mean, we could keep asking her. I don't know if we're gonna.
We
get
can, we can.
I mean, the
flood
thing
her
is,
comments.
I don't even necessarily need her to say anything. All I need is for her to take the time to get on her phone and look it up, and then find out that it doesn't exist.
She's like super concerned and wants to figure out what's going on in the Congo. She has such a good heart.
I keep looking it up, and the only thing that comes up is the Congo. It's not the Congo, is it?
So
her husband Jeremy is just like.
I'm telling you, he explained to her what bunker busters are.
Yeah.
I just know it.
Yeah.
I just know that he sat there in between spit of dip and was explaining what a bunker buster is. We're gonna talk about it. We'll get into it. We are also gonna talk about Gen Z. They are telling everyone that dating is just too damn expensive. They can't afford to date. Look, they're not even wrong.
It's true.
But
No,
we're gonna get into it. We got a bunch of other stuff to get into. Mary, if you're ready, we can just go. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So yesterday we talked a little bit about the journalistic sabotage that's going on over at DC Studios from all of the access media that seems to want Superman to fail, or at the very least, they want themselves to succeed more than they care about this movie doing well. But Variety took this to new heights at the Superman premiere, where a very particular journalist who we have talked about endlessly on this channel, he's actually probably the greatest person working in Hollywood today, decided to make all his questions for the actors and the people behind the camera about immigration.
Yeah, I kind of love this Variety journalist.
He's the
I have
best.
like a special affection for him for some reason because he's an agent of chaos.
He is.
Every time that he shows up on a red carpet, for instance, the most infamous one is his interview with Chris Pratt. Or no, he was interviewing Chris Hemsworth rather, and he said, "What was it like to see your Thor ass on screen for the first time?"
But it's not just that. He's also like, "Is this the gayest Marvel movie yet?
Tell us that it's the gayest
is
show
Agatha
ever.
the gayest show ever?" So what he
he's
should have asked
always
is like, "Is
offering them the bait."
Is Superman
You know?
the gayest immigrant alive?
So I have to
Him and
say,
Pedro going at it.
Yeah.
James Gunn walked himself into this situation with his interview with the Times of London, where he said that Superman is an immigrant, and then he walked it back and tried to qualify it. He did give them fodder for questions like this. There's no denying it. So
But he did artfully dance around this question. In fact, look, you're right about everything that he said prior, but if you were looking for like a gold standard in how to avoid taking the bait in questions, he does pretty well with this. And I honestly think that the Nathan Fillion one is pretty good as well, but people want you to be mad. So let's listen to what he's talking about. They're talking about the MAGA backlash. That's what
the MAGA backlash.
Here we go. Here we go.
You said it's an immigrant story. It's a political movie. MAGA today is going nuts. What do you have to say to MAGA?
Going nuts.
Going nuts.
I think this movie's for everybody. I don't have anything to say to anybody. Like I'm not here to judge people. You know. I think this is a movie about kindness, and I think that's something everyone can relate to.
Okay, so what Variety did with the headline following that soundbite is James Gunn's quote, "I don't have anything to say to anybody spreading hate." He did not say the words spreading hate. He just said, "I have nothing to say."
They artfully put the quotes between the I and the anybody and then added the spreading hate because they're awful.
Right.
They're evil.
They're doing everything in their power to throw him under the bus.
This journalist is like, look, if I had to believe, like, have you ever heard the joke? They're like, do Republicans pay Democrats for acting so stupid? Because sometimes they act so dumb, they push people to the other side. I would believe 100% that there are YouTubers who are paying this dude under the table to ask these questions to give them fodder to talk about.
I'm sure that he's paid handsomely by Variety for his work. There was also the interview with Nathan Fillion on the MAGA Backlash. And he says, it's just a movie, guys. Please.
Here's his. Look, even when you look at the faces of all of these actors when they get done with the question, you can just tell they hate it.
They're so sick of it.
Oh, James has said that Superman is an immigrant story, that it is political. MAGA today was getting a little upset that he called Superman an immigrant. I wanted to get your reaction.
Somebody needs a hug. It's just a movie, guys. It's just a movie.
It's just a movie.
It's just a movie.
So that's a pretty good response.
That was a pretty good response as well. However, guys, it doesn't matter because somebody did take the bait when it came to all of this. And that, of course, wasn't even somebody important. Nope. It was James Gunn's shithead brother.
Like, why was he there? Is he a producer?
I think he's in the movie in some
he got
role.
a cameo.
He's an actor.
Okay. I haven't seen him in anything, so I don't know.
So here we go.
It is exactly what the movie is about. I think that, like, we support our people, you know. So we love our immigrants. We love, yes, Superman is an immigrant, and yes, the people that we support in this country are immigrants, and if you don't like that, then you're not American. People who
like, I'm picturing whoever's in charge over at Warner Brothers, not DC, because DC would be James Gunn. They're just like watching the money get flushed down the toilet. My question was, I did tweet about this. I said, look, this movie should be as uncontroversial as possible. That's what Warner Brothers should want right now. There should be nothing what would this marketing campaign have looked like under Kamala? Like, this would never have been the narrative under Kamala. They would never even have brought this stuff up. It wouldn't have mattered because it's not relevant to what's actually going on in real world politics. But bringing up real world immigration into a story about Superman is a lose-lose for literally everyone except for the dude at Variety.
It's like, you hate Superman because he's an immigrant.
And YouTubers. Who want to talk about it?
People hate him because he's an immigrant. I hate him because he's a journalist.
Yeah.
I have a reason.
Right.
We are not the same.
We are not the same.
And I can't fathom the level of misinterpretation that's going on here. And they keep kind of stoking the flames. So they brought up multiple articles. I brought up a bunch of responses from people who are in this space who are talking about it. So Stephanie says, all that for an article. This shouldn't have even been a topic of conversation to begin with when marketing this movie. Actually, Superman is an immigrant. Who cares? This movie shouldn't be a political statement. It is a Superman movie, and David Corenswet should have been the focus for the conversation as DC's new Superman. I do notice that, like, they're not talking to him. They're not talking to Lois Lane. They're not talking to Rachel Brosnahan. Jonas J. Campbell says Variety, and especially Mark Malkin, that's the guy, desperately want this movie to be about Donald Trump and how much they hate you. And Alan Eng over at Film Threat says, what the hell is Variety doing?
I disagree even with the idea that Superman is an immigrant, but someone did reply saying he's an immigrant who quickly assimilated, doesn't break the law, has a good job, and helps others. He doesn't speak Pigeon Krypton and take welfare, join a street gang, and bitch about the man keeping him down. So even if we accepted the premise that he's an immigrant, it wouldn't be comparable.
I thought he's from Kansas.
No, yeah. So the better example would be a baby left at a church with no documentation.
Where's
he
opinion.
from?
Sure.
He's from Krypton, which is another planet.
Oh, so then if we call him an alien, they get all bent out of shape.
That's the funny thing. I said if you'd made this movie 10 years ago, you could have made a lot more funny, quippy comments about it because he would be an illegal alien.
Yeah.
But that term is not politically correct anymore.
Yeah, they could have spun it, be like, good luck, Stephen Miller, stopping this alien. That'd be awesome.
And then, look, here's the thing, though. It's stupid. And everything that they're doing over at these outlets to sabotage the movie is stupid. But they're not entirely wrong because Fox News did have headlines like this.
So wait, is MAGA actually going nuts?
I mean, if you're an old boomer, I guess, who watches Fox News,
All right.
super woke, iconic hero to embrace pro-immigrant themes.
Is Superman going super
woke? Let's listen to what Kellyanne Conway has to say about this.
Kellyanne Conway is talking about this?
Finally.
That's when I think about who I want to hear about my opinions on
What does
Superman.
she have to
yesterday
say?
at Citi Field, go Yanks. And you should see the people sitting for the national anthem for God Bless America. It's really just, I can't believe that we've come down to that. And I don't know. We don't go to the movie theater to be lectured to and to have somebody throw their ideology onto us. I wonder if it'll be successful.
You know what it says on his cape? MS-13.
Wow.
Is it super?
Clever.
Superimposed, or it actually says that?
It is super.
Just on the knuckles.
Superimposed.
One more thing.
Okay.
Wow, that's comedy gold.
Oh, bro.
What if it said like Trende Awagwa on his belt? Wouldn't that be so woke?
He's a Kansas man. That's what Superman is. He's a Kansas man.
That would actually hit.
So they're not entirely wrong.
So everyone on every side of the political spectrum is cannibalizing this movie.
Yes, they are.
Why?
I have no
What I
idea.
actually want to know is why is the Hollywood trade media seemingly united against this movie?
Because it gets them clicks. Because people like us will click on it and make content about it, which links to
But
their
they blindly
sites.
celebrate so many other movies. I think it probably is just because of what Superman represents in American culture, and that he's this powerful,
an
masculine
alpha
character. Yeah, and also truth, justice, and the American way.
Well, they
and
don't
history.
even say that in the movie. James Gunn
Right.
got rid of truth, justice, in the American
But
way.
it's
Granted,
because of what his character represents. I think that's the reason why it's a particular target for them.
he's just a Kansas man, okay? Like, he didn't do anything wrong. And we're not shipping him off to El Salvador or wherever
He
we're
would
shipping
burn
him.
the bars with his eyes.
You know what? Jester Bell said, hold on, let me pull this up here. It says, Variety was the one who clipped Gunn's words out of context. Now they keep posting updates like this and bringing it out on the red carpet. I'm not even a Gunn fan, but it's like they're trying to fan the flames and manufacture an outrage where there was none following this movie. No, I think, look, the thing is they did the same thing to Marvel when they did the Agatha stuff where the guy's like, is this the gayest show ever made? And they're all like, I guess.
No, but they didn't say like reluctantly, like, sure, I guess, you know, if you're gay, you can like the show too. They leaned into it just as much.
TV show doesn't matter. Like, doesn't have to do $700 million.
I recall
at the
Aubrey
box
Plaza
office.
saying it's going to be a gay explosion. Yeah. So
I think that if it's a television show, there isn't as much need for it to do well, so they can be looser with it. Right now, what James Gunn is, plus James Gunn is financially incentivized because he's the head of the studio. I am sure there is money tied to bonuses related to box office performance.
But he's like, it's not that big of a deal if we don't make much money.
To me, that was worse though. That felt to me like he was trying to set the stage in case it doesn't do well, which tells me that he doesn't actually think that the movie is going to do very well.
We
at
were
all.
like trying to make less than 700 million.
It's just a movie, like big deal.
But there was nothing wrong with what James Gunn said. There wasn't even anything wrong with what Nathan Fillion said. It was his stupid brother, and James Gunn now is like he's going to not invite him to Christmas.
There was something wrong with what James Gunn said in the written interview.
Yes.
That caused this to happen. It was a domino effect. And what actors and directors alike need to understand in Hollywood is that they are in an adversarial relationship with the media, and they can't seem to catch up to that fact.
It's funny because it actually kind of makes the journalists look smarter than them. Because look, they have an adversarial relationship with us because we're not financially incentivized to say nice things about their movie. So when we watch when I watch this stuff and I comment on stuff James Gunn is saying and being like, look, this guy is making all of the marketing about him and it's not even about the rest of the cast. That's a very easy relationship to understand. They don't like us. I would actually argue that most of the people in this space, the ones who are not audience captured, they would rather see the movie do well and talk about things that they actually want to talk about. But a lot of the times that's not how it plays out. But that's happened like when I've been reviewing movies. Some people say that we're too positive, like that I'm too positive. Other people say they see our channel and nothing nice is ever said about anything ever. And I was like, if you think I'm an example of like somebody who's negative about every movie, you've never seen me talk about movies, because I love everything. I love all the slop.
We have a 20 from Pop Culture Junkie. Some of these Superman articles and reviews in the trade press are stupid and toxic enough to make me want to never acknowledge that I used to review movies. Well, just, know that you're an exception to the rule.
I saw this other tweet from Jonas J. Campbell. Pull it up here. Says, it's getting to the point where I will trust no one's opinion on the Superman movie. My mutuals are all over the place. Trades are straight up lying. India-themed bots are out in force. Yeah, I said, really, I just want both teams to have fun, but I don't know who's going to win. I don't know if it's going to be the Gunn fans, the Snyder Bros, or the Indian bot farms. And I imagine that it's the Indian bot farms that end up winning.
The crazy part of it is that most normies who are going to see this movie, whether it's in theaters or when it goes to streaming, don't even know who James Gunn is and have no idea who's directing this movie.
I mean, that depends. As far as directors go, he's pretty
front-facing as far as directors go, but normies literally don't pay attention to press about movies. They don't know this stuff. They're not seeing these headlines for the most part and using it to make their decision about whether to go to the movie. So
this was also from Force of Light. Says, if I'm the head of Warner Brothers, I would have all my movies avoid variety in their interviewers who try to trap and then twist what it is they say to fit the narrative. It reminded me of the Joker press tour where they just banned the journalists because they're like, oh, we heard this movie's gonna make kids want to shoot up people.
Well, the closest that interviews and headlines have gotten to breaking into the normie sphere is Rachel Zegler promoting Snow White. And I'll restate, as I said yesterday, I still have yet to see a single clip or interview from David Cornsweet or Rachel Brosnahan saying anything unflattering about this movie. Nope. It's only James Gunn that's being a problem right now. And he should probably take a slice of humble pie and step back, given that he's not the star.
Yep.
But he's obsessed with making himself as front-facing as possible and promoting this.
Everything that I've seen from the stars of this movie has been good. Everything I've seen from David Cornsweet, I watched this this piece of advertisement where they erected like a giant Superman between two buildings in like the UK on like between the spire of two buildings. Looked really, really cool. There's all of these interviews with David Cornsweet where he says all the right things. I think I saw Disparu said it was like David Cornsweet desperately trying to like shovel water out of a sinking boat.
What I'm waiting to see, I don't know if we ever will see it, but I'm just anticipating the day where one actor or actress finally responds to a journalist like this and says, I'm not answering a question like that. You're clearly trying to get a soundbite.
See, but the thing is, I think that we would be giving James Gunn that praise if he hadn't invited all of this upon himself. His answer in the Variety sound bit is perfect. The problem is he brought the question on himself with everything else that has been stated about it.
But if they ask David Cornsweet a question like that, like if he just said, I'm not engaging with that conversation,
that did happen with Quentin Tarantino when they're like, Margot Robbie's only in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for like 7 seconds, and he's like, I reject your premise.
Wait, they were mad that she didn't have enough
screen time, and they're like, does that mean you like hate women? He's like, I reject your premise.
Yeah.
That was the right way to answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, that's a director, not an actor. He probably feels a bit more free because he's Quentin Tarantino, and he is the face of his movies.
This is like James Gunn recreating the moment where they asked Greta Gerwig, how is the Barbie movie a feminist statement? And she decided to attempt to answer that question
with word salad that Kamala would have loved.
Extremely pseudo-intellectual way and bloviated for about a minute and a half without coming up with any answer.
It was like me. It was like literally I need to repost it. It was like me on IRL if Tim asks me a question.
if you don't actually think your movie is a feminist statement, can you not just say that?
It's like when
just disengage from the conversation.
It's like Tim's like, what do you think about Iran and Israel? I'm like, well, Barbie's a feminist movie because
I mean, Iran kind of sounds like a lady name.
So look, I'm going to see the movie on Thursday. I will be reviewing it though. I'll probably try to keep that review on the shorter side, and I am going to avoid the media for the most part because I don't want people's opinions of it coloring what I think about the film. But given the fact that I've liked James Gunn's superhero work in the past, I'll be fine. I think the movie will be fine, but we'll have to wait and see. If I hate it, I'll tell you that. So, all right, let's move on.
A plus-size model recently shared several revealing photos of herself in a bikini on Twitter, and it was met with, at this point, 74 million views, and it then sparked a debate about what men prefer in women. mostly a conversation about female intrasexual competition, why it seems that women complement each other when they're objectively making themselves less attractive. And then I dug into this model's responses to the whole controversy, and she was parroting exactly the same talking points you would expect. But first off, let's show the pictures.
Sorry, I had to tweet Clark Kent as a Kansas man really quick. Okay, here are the pictures.
So first off, people were comparing her to a plus-size version of Megan Fox.
Okay.
They were also saying that she looks like a mix of Megan Fox, Kate Winslet, and Sabrina Carpenter in one, if they all like were 60 pounds overweight. She is, if you look at her, I mean, she definitely has a face card. I can't deny that. And they were right. She looks like Megan Fox.
74 million people have looked at this.
She looks like she could be like Megan Fox's sister.
And then she added at the bottom, and another one to piss off all of the fat-phobic men in my replies. But I'm sure there's plenty of non-fat-phobic men who said nice things about her.
Here were a few of the responses from men. Would smash, but I'm not taking her out in public or telling my friends. Another one said, low-carb diet, you'll thank us later. Another one said, would women be supportive if she was a 10? No, they don't see her as a threat. They pity her and virtue signal that they're kind in the replies. Another reply from a female said, if you want to understand intrasexual female competition, look at all the replies of this tweet. No guy I know would call this hot, but girls are flooding the comments with slay queen because she's not a threat. It's not support. It's a strategy. And then another reply from a female said, straight men are calling this woman ugly, and that's why the birth rate is declining. There were, to be fair, plenty of men in the replies who were simping for her, and they were saying that she is objectively attractive in their opinion, and then just as many men saying that she's repulsive because of her weight.
Well, those are the fat-phobic men that she added the photo of.
She actually did respond to this with several more photos saying, body fat this, lose weight that, have you considered I don't care and I'm really hot? Another one, she said, unfortunately for half of Twitter, I woke up still plus-sized and still really beautiful again. And then she said, if I can handle this massive hate on this scale, then you can wear that bikini to the beach, go to the pool, try out a new hobby, wear jeans you're insecure about, enjoy your body to the fullest. I'm not letting it stop me. Please don't let society's preconceived notions of what is beautiful and what's not stop you from living your life. What someone says about your appearance reflects on them alone, not you. You have to realize someone with so much hate in their heart is far more miserable than you could ever be wearing a bikini at the beach. Get out there.
I think that that's a certain level of cope to think that everybody who says something mean to you a little bit on the internet is just a miserable person. Sometimes people are just jerks once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird to have a crazy chip on your shoulder like that.
Is there like here's the thing. There is no, that I can think of, unless somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, there is no guy's version of this, because the guy version of this just means they're funny.
Yeah, like the fatter you are.
Fat guy is funny and therefore successful. There isn't like fat dude with a face card that I can think of. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if there is, it's me, and I'm the fat dude with the face card. But like, I can't think of like a Hollywood example of like a dude who they're like, wow, look at that jawline, but damn, dude looks like Dumbo on the bottom half.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, with her, like, I saw this discourse yesterday. Like, look, I grew up in Memphis, and if you knew anything about Memphis, she would be like anorexic there. So
definitely depends on where you live, like what you think is fat.
I was seeing her, I was like, wow, she's slim. Like, I'm from Memphis.
That's why people say like someone's in New York 6 or in Illinois 8, whatever it may be. I have several thoughts. First off, you don't post pictures of yourself in a bikini if you're not soliciting opinions about how you look, both positive and negative. She probably anticipated that this would reach people who find her unattractive, who would say so, and that was probably part of the goal in her posting it. I don't think anyone should post pictures of themselves nearly naked or fully naked online in general, regardless of whether anyone believes you've earned the right to do so based on your physique. And also, given the fact that she is a professional model, She has received all the validation she could possibly ever need for her looks. She's literally paid to pose in magazines or model products or clothing. This is her career. So clearly people have recognized you for your attractive qualities. Why are you still fishing for more feedback from the internet?
She's hungry for feedback, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insatiable, even. Right? So I don't know. Then the conversation about men's preferences, are they being too picky and this is why birth rates are declining? No, I don't think so. Look at the girlfriends of any guy that you know in real life. You know, they're not 10s. They don't look like Megan Fox, and they're not supermodels. So where is this energy in real life? Like, the guys commenting negative stuff on this post do not have nearly as high of standards as they claim to online.
I mean, it's
they're
like
posturing.
it's like you were talking about yesterday about it's the id coming out.
Yes.
You're unable to stop yourself, and it's the first thought, and you just engage in the worst aspects of your persona with stuff like this.
But then when it comes to the replies from women, I do agree that some of them are laying on the praise very thick because it's a form of virtue signaling. And I think that most of the women complimenting her probably would not want to look like her. At least they wouldn't want to be her weight. I know I certainly wouldn't want to be her weight. I think she's objectively beautiful in the face, and there is a certain tragedy in being gorgeous in the face and doing yourself a disservice by being overweight and unhealthy. So, you know, there are just so many angles to this, and it just became like a proxy for like the ongoing battle of the sexes online, it seems.
I mean, that's the other reason to post stuff like this is it gets high engagement and you get a lot of followers off something like this. I mean, if this is what she does for work, then it pushes people to her other platforms where she likely has brand deals, where the larger her follower count is, the more she can ask for per marketing campaign.
It's just like it's a way to siphon everything off, because if you know any overweight women, you go to their Instagrams, you're not going to see like her like male friends or followers in the comments just like cooking her.
Right.
Yeah, so this is like she's clearly trying to be provocative. I do agree, like, yeah, women that are very attractive, if you go to their comment section, it's going to be very dry. And then you go to women that are, you know, face the mother could love.
Yeah.
And the comments are like glazing galore.
That's like me. That's why I say on the show, I have a face for radio.
Yeah. So if you're ever getting a lot of compliments of how attractive you are, you should actually be really nervous.
Right. Like, whether you're getting excessive praise or excessive insult online doesn't say that much about how you objectively look. Actually, it does say more about the people who are saying those things.
And I think she's ugly because of her attitude. She's got an attitude problem.
It's also weird because she's flip-flopping between taking this tone of like love and light and happiness and be you and like be comfortable in who you are.
That's a marketing ploy.
Blah, blah, blah. But then on the other hand, she's taking this snarky tone.
That's what I always say. The meanest person you know has be kind in their bio. That is without fail. Because the person who says to be kind says that because they love to be awful to people who aren't kind.
And then likewise, like the most brutally like racist guy, you know, who like his Twitter was just like would put him on an EU no-fly list, and he'd give you the shirt off his back. Yep. Greatest guy.
I was watching this video yesterday. It was I posted, it's like these two guys throwing a baseball back and forth. It says how little guys know about each other, and it's like he throws the ball. It's like, oh, so how's dating going? He's like, I've been married for 6 years actually. Yeah. And then like they've been friends their whole lives and they know nothing about each other.
Oh, it's 100% true.
You know, it's dichotomous.
When it comes to men posting pictures of themselves, like, do you guys compliment other men on how they look?
Only in the setting if it's like a gym physique, but it's not complimenting how they look as like you're attractive. It's like, oh, you know,
respect.
Like the triceps look good.
Work.
What's your technique? That sort of thing.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever taken the time to comment on a person's like selfie photo.
As an avid commenter on male photos, I'm a bit of an expert. No, but yeah, it's like totally out of control. With like this whole thing is just so, because we had to rehash the same conversation of like, you know, the women, how they view like what was the word, comparison, like,
the intrasexual competition.
Yeah, the intrasexual women. Competition. It's like, we've done this, like
we're reheating those nachos.
Oh, like modest is hottest. This has been established. put a T-shirt on, tweet something funny. Right?
Well, ironically, she probably looks better in a bikini than in clothes.
Oddly enough.
Yeah, well, I think that's the problem is everyone looks that way, so that's why modest is hottest.
And you said that people were calling her Fat Megan Fox.
They were. Yeah.
Okay,
Megan Fox is her doppelganger. Like, that is true.
Didn't we cover something about this similar, like recently in the last couple of months about somebody who had the same thing, who was like, maybe it's the same person.
Who also looks like Megan Fox?
Yes. It could have been the same person for all I know.
I don't recall.
It's the problem with this job.
Megan Fox is also millennial hot. Like, my generation never found her like, unbelievably hot. But like millennial men, it's like the eyes shoot out the head. They hit themselves in the head with the mallet.
Well, then what is it for Zoomer men? Who is the Megan Fox of Gen Z?
I don't think we have like a sex icon like they had, where it was like ubiquitous.
You're not allowed to.
It's not Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, it's probably Sydney Sweeney. Yeah.
That's weird because when I think of Sydney Sweeney, I think of millennial men still.
You know what? Yeah, there are still a lot.
Livy Dunn's a good example.
Oh, true.
Where it's like millennial men are like, I don't get it, and then Zoomer men would like kill themselves.
Well, no, like the Zoomer men are into all of the accoutrement, like of a girl who has a certain aesthetic that she can buy from Hot Topic.
Yeah, there's like an additional. The emo thing is weird.
Yeah.
I've seen guys like self-flagellate over over emo women. It's really weird. I don't really get it.
Or goth chicks.
So it's not really about objective metrics at that point. It's just like any attractive woman could adopt that aesthetic.
Yeah, it's probably because like Zoomer men don't have healthy views of women in general. So like,
I mean, I would say like most people don't have a healthy view of the opposite sex at this point.
Oh yeah, women's the same exact way. Yeah, I'm not like saying it's an anti-man thing. But
these conversations are interesting on the show, but these types of threads, I don't even read them because I'm just like,
I know what's going to be said.
I know everything that's going to be said, and I know that the person who benefits the most is whoever started the discussion, which means it's not there to be honest. It's just there for engagement.
Well, it sucks for her is because she didn't buy a Twitter Blue or whatever, so she missed out on the 74 million views. She did it all for nothing.
Right.
For the love of that's what somebody said yesterday. They posted a picture of Epstein. They said, no blackmail, no crime, just a perv for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Like just evil for the love of the game.
He was procuring all of those prostitutes just for himself. We are expected to believe that.
Be wary of all of the discussions like this around the gender wars. They grow tiresome.
Definitely.
They really do. And her response about calling everyone fatphobic is about the most predictable response you could ever get. So.
Well, she could have like some nuanced take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could lose a few.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what the lady was like in the segment yesterday.
I didn't know.
Like, if she did lose a few, if she did take the advice of the people insulting her and became skinny, she might not have the same career that she has as a plus-size model. So she has a particular interest in staying the way she is.
God loved her so much he made a little extra of her. There's nothing wrong with that. She's big boned. That was that's the colloquialism.
All right, let's move on. What would you guys like to see? Cringe or cute of the day?
Tate, what do you think?
It has to be cringe.
Cringe
first?
It has
to be, yeah.
This one is really...
Is it that bad?
It's really good. In a way that I mean it's really bad.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
I said, I sleep, I shine, I move the Shakti up my spine. I am serpent, goddess, divine. I strike, I shed, I sleep, I shine, I move the Shakti up my spine. I am serpent, goddess, divine. I strike, I shed, I sleep, I shine. I move the Shakti up my spine. I am serpent. What? Goddess.
It's kind of growing on me.
Now's my time. I strike, I shed, I sleep, I shine. I move the Shakti up my spine. I am serpent. Goddess. Divine. I said,
That was awesome.
And I
won me over.
I looked closely at this video and I did not spot a single non-white woman.
Yeah, that checks out. What people don't realize is like RFK's constituency before he ran for president was that. People don't realize that was Maha for like 30 years.
Yes, the crunchies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the reason Whole Foods exists. So
they were just accessing their divine feminine,
Yeah.
their feminine genius type shit.
No, yeah, that was awesome. Like the,
I was like, where are they? Like, what is this tent? Like, is this a festival or what's going on?
It's gotta be like Grand Rapids, Michigan. Like, it's gonna be in a very let downy place. This is what Run Club's origin is. That is the origin of Run Clubs.
Now I know what why black people hate frat rap so much. It's like the other way around.
What's frat rap?
It would have been
Mac Miller.
I guess.
Is it the one that's like
it's
Jordan Belfort?
I was watching this video the other day. It says not a single person of color in the whole stadium.
And usually they're exaggerating, but in this video, literally all of them are white women.
Yeah.
Every last one.
The amount of like expensive SUVs in that parking lot.
Oh yeah.
Like they are climate change.
Mm-hmm.
Like
really? I would have assumed Nissan Altima.
No. Those women. No. There's not enough tattoos or scrubs or broken iPhone screens.
Yeah.
Like when you finish watching this show, you need to go find an Orange Theory instructor. You need to thank them because they're holding that back from the streets. This will take over the streets if they fall down.
Goddess.
Orange Theory is
Divine.
the last stand.
No, those are not the Nissan Altima drivers. The Nissan Altima drivers have a ton of tattoos and they wear scrubs and they're
women go to
certified
Sweet
nursing assistants.
Yeah, they're at like on a Carnival cruise.
And this like you know that feeling where it's like you're in the middle of something, you're kind of embarrassed and you feel like it's hot on the back of your collar. She's never experienced that in her entire
shame.
life.
No shame.
Okay, cue to the day. Holy crap. All right. I kind of want to die a little bit. That was awful.
Yeah, that's the goal.
I'm too afraid to sing the lyrics because I don't know if it's like some demonic
Yeah, I
chant.
shouldn't have said it out loud, but I feel like I've summoned
You
something.
just vexed yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe the rain stops.
Those are the women that are online saying that you should be nice to people, and then they've shunned every single person.
They're going to the female rage rituals.
In their Facebook mom groups, yeah. Ellen Thompson, my adorable little girls I've bottle fed since their mom was eaten. 2 litters, 8 kittens. Some have got forever homes already.
Well, kind of tragic,
They were
but
eaten?
also like happy ending for them.
She said eaten?
The cat, the mom cat.
She lived in Springfield, Ohio?
Like the cats.
The Haitians got to them. Yeah, the Haitians.
Oh, that little heart.
With the heterochromia.
It was a very beautiful cat. It's a very beautiful
Very
cat.
cute.
So cute.
That was what we needed after
nice little
whatever the
palate
hell that
cleanser
was.
there.
That was good.
All right, let's get started before I puke.
All right. We have been chronicling the evolution of Jojo Siwa. First off, her pivot from being lesbian to ending up in a heterosexual relationship with Chris Hughes. And now she's taken a dramatic turn in her aesthetic and is threatening to release new music.
Oh, gosh.
She just posted a promotional clip for a new cover that she is releasing later this week of Betty Davis Eyes. And she is giving full Marilyn Monroe aesthetic in this video. But what's most striking is really the vocals on this. This is quite impressive.
Let's listen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a little bit of like Sabrina Carpenter ape there. I kind of
No, it was
heard a little bit.
it was like strung out Hannah Montana.
One person said she looks like an egg and sounds like bacon. That definitely sounded painful. Like it sounds like she has injured vocal cords and is just screaming right through it. But she said, after performing this song live and seeing the beautiful response to it, I decided to go record a studio vocal, and I'm undecided if I should release it on Spotify or not.
I mean,
would you want me to?
Give her what she wants. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, oddly enough, it's like, you know, when they would do the childhood pageant shows, she was in Dance Moms, right?
Yes.
But like, you know, the kids who get sent to do the childhood beauty pageants, it's like somebody drew an adult version of that.
Yeah, there's something uncanny about this look for her, definitely. One said, is this an anti-smoking campaign? The auto-tune overlaid with the vocal cord injury, like the bleeding vocal cords, is really treading new ground artistically, I think. But I did actually go back and listen to the original of this song by Kim Carnes, I believe. Yeah. And I had heard the song before, it just jogged my memory. The original vocals are quite raspy, so it's not exactly...
There's plenty of raspy female singers. That's not rare.
But there's a level of raspy that people enjoy, and then there's that, and it just makes you feel pain. Like, I think she needs to take some rest. We have a 20.
She gonna perform with Pat
from
Benatar next?
Social Apostate. Tate, you keep my sweet Michigan out of your effing mouth. Also, hi, Mary.
Hey,
hi.
I used to live in Fort Wayne, so Michigan was like the promised land.
You know, I'm about to marry into a Michigan family, so I know from which I speak.
Don't get mistaken. Michigan is like really the bread and butter of America. Don't get mistaken. I just think of a general place. You think Grand Rapids, right? What's going on there? What do they do all day?
What do they do in Grand Rapids?
Yeah,
that's not a real place.
Yeah, they go like tubing. I don't know.
Another comment said that she sounds like Abby Lee Miller. So if you didn't watch Dance Moms back in the day when JoJo was still a child, the instructor of the Dance Moms contestants is named Abby Lee Miller, and this was her dance studio, and she is a psychopath. Oh. She's insane. And it's funny because people are like, oh, like, is she traumatized child star? Obviously, there are hours of footage proving it. Abby Lee Miller is crazy. She throws furniture. She screams at these children. That's the entire point of the reality show. She's just emotionally eviscerating a bunch of kids when they don't perform up to snuff.
This is the face of pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so this is like, you know, in 10 years when they make the documentary and they're like, but everything wasn't all right. Behind the smiles, and then it turns into black and white, and the picture zooms in slowly.
Right, except it wasn't behind the smiles. She was literally crying on the show countless times. Like, that was the entire point of the show, is just people wanted to watch children being traumatized for entertainment value. And then what gets spat out at the end of that process is someone like Jojo Siwa, who clearly has no sense of firm identity anymore and flits about from look to look and sound to sound and kind of just does whatever will get the most attention. Another comment said that JoJo is in her Tradwife era, and she's still posting frequently with her boyfriend Chris Hughes. One of her recent TikToks says, "You look happier," and she's in the process of making tea for herself and Chris Hughes. And she says, "Thank you. This is my mornings now, and I've perfected how to make the perfect tea."
Oh.
You know.
That is an offense against the English language, but, you know, she seems happy.
Is Chris Hughes like a good person? Because what this is really speaking to just how easy it will be for us mediocre men. Because if all it takes to be happy is just like not being part of the LGBTQ community, then you guys, it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Chris Hughes, brain damage. Does he have it?
Some of the former fans of JoJo reacting to this clip said that she is in psychosis. Another person said they believe she's going through a pre-transition psychosis episode and that she is merely a couple of years away from transitioning into a man. I really hope that doesn't happen.
That would be quite a pivot. So she goes this way, then that way,
from
then
lesbian
back that way.
to tradwife to trans man. I honestly do hope that that's not true.
I mean, I hope it's true just because it'll give us content. But my gosh, the arc there is incredible.
That's half of Dime Square.
Another one said, how did she go from this is insane. How did she go from bumping rainbow coochies to a tradwife in like 2 months? Don't ever let anyone tell you it's too late to become a new version of yourself.
Well, here the thing is though, is they're celebrities. They're blank slates. They're literally just empty canvases. They know nothing. They think nothing. They are nothing. They're there to be prepackaged and designed so that they can make money.
And some people are fear-mongering about this, saying, in all seriousness, Jojo Siwa is the perfect example of the rise in conservatism. So, okay, does this sudden change in her aesthetic say anything about the direction that our culture is headed as a whole?
She's skipping to. She's not going to see Super Woke. I know that.
Yeah.
Like,
MS-13 man.
Is this her way of capitalizing
Yes.
on the Tradwife trend
Not-
in a subtle way?
No, I don't know if you need to be as specific as saying Tradwife. She's just marketing to a new demographic of people that are not, her previous audience.
No, it's like what's happening with her and Sabrina Carpenter is like the oldies became very trendy with Zoomers, like wearing older clothes, listening to older music.
I was born in the wrong generation.
Yeah, and then some like ad agency noticed that was happening, and they're like, okay, now we need to like sexualize this, and then they worked like like a charm with Sabrina Carpenter, so now they're trotting out the same playbook to Jojo Siwa.
That doesn't work. She's not Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, like for the Zoomer aesthetic is like, you listen to like, old 50s music and it kind of stops there. This is like a weird corruption dystopian nightmare.
It's just marketing. She's just LARPing for the sake
It's
of
an ad
making
agency.
money.
When I looked at the comments on Kim Carnes' music video for Betty Davis Eyes, all of the comments prior to 24 hours ago were literally people saying like, I was born in the wrong generation because this is the type of music I like. I'm so glad there are some people who still appreciate real art.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the comments are like, Jojo Siwa sent me here.
Yeah.
And now some people see the momfluencer era in Jojo Siwa's future.
Oh,
there is now a rumor
of
circulating
course.
that Jojo is about to announce her first pregnancy.
She is speed running.
Yeah.
Like, she is speed running.
Now-
Like, the divorce is going to be in like 3 months.
I mostly mention this just because this TikToker who talked about the pregnancy rumors just is hilarious, and he seems genuinely distressed at this information.
Here we go. Let me make sure the volume's up.
People are shocked and confused right now. Within the past day or two, there's been videos circling of people saying Jojo Siwa's pregnant.
Bro's hand is shaking.
Does he have Parkinson's?
Which isn't helping her case at all. Jojo Siwa hasn't directly responded to all these rumors, but it's only a matter of time because she's reposting it and it's getting pretty big, which isn't helping her case at all, especially if she's not really pregnant. A lot of you guys are asking, does she know this?
Bro
yes,
has
because
never
she's actively reposting the videos. To clear the air though, this is exactly how this rumor started in the first place. Videos essentially resurfaced she made back in 2023 pretending to be pregnant, and that's why everybody just assumed. But she later clarified she's not pregnant, nor is she expecting, and she doesn't even plan to have kids, so we can shut that rumor down. But things could have changed since 2023. I mean, now she wants kids, so. But hey, I guess we'll only know when Jojo Siwa finally responds herself, so it's only a matter of time. I personally don't think she's pregnant. I think this is all a attention thing, especially knowing her history. If you know, you know. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and are you guys believing this? Like, do we truly think she's pregnant, especially seeing a couple months ago she was going for the other team? Because I sure don't. But hey, I do cover daily trends, news, and updates, so let you guys add me to
Sir.
He's asking us. I think he's the expert.
Blink twice if you need help.
Bro,
What was he holding? Was that a mic he was holding? He was,
Ooh.
Jojo Siwa is pregnant. I am shocked and confused right now.
what do you guys think? Tell me. What do you know? What do you know?
Bro's like, you save so many hours in the day if you don't blink.
But you know what? I am shocked and confused right now. Like, this is a little distressing. Jojo Siwa.
It's not distressing.
This is
She's-
distressing.
No, it is.
It's LARP,
No, it
LARPing.
is. It is.
No, I'm gonna think about this like in the next 3 days and get angry.
Like, she's so crazy and unpredictable that I almost kind of support it.
She's the
but
female Kanye in a lot of ways, and not with the
It-
career-wise, but as far
She
as the
fake drank Fireball. That's the
No, I
Exhibit
know,
A.
I
Exhibit
know.
A.
But it's like she fully commits to everything she does, and I do appreciate that.
She's gonna have like an anti-Semite arc. That's gonna happen.
She's currently deleting all of the negative comments as well.
like
on
her.
the teaser.
She like her Twitter drafts are just bad.
Wild. I mean, it would get like it would get on a watch list.
Like, we'll know when she actually starts drinking when the anti-Semitic tweets start.
Her agency drops her. And she goes
No,
off.
I mean, that's the craziest part of this is that she's doing all of it sober. All of this is something that she's doing of a sober mind. This
I don't
is
think
just
she
a
has
glimpse.
like an inner conscious. I think she's just kind
Yeah,
of like
just-
a
she just
shell.
acts.
She's
just
a blank.
shell.
She's a blank slate. She's just
Yeah.
there to be molded by whoever is making money off of her.
She's kind of like reacting to
Yeah.
stimuli. She's like an alligator, just
Like-
reacting to stimulus.
First, it was TLC, then it was Nickelodeon, then it was the LGBT lobby, and now it's I don't even know what.
Maybe-
Also, her dress.
Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe she's like, I'm on my way to Israel.
She's doing her song against the wall. Also, her dress looks like the masks from COVID, just like sewn together.
There you go.
Yeah, it's very captivating. It's not even just an observation. There's a lot to unpack in this video.
Yeah. It's truly something to behold.
Well, we'll have to. I mean, but at any rate, she's going to be divorced twice and then become gay again.
And
so
then, like,
we're going to have to wait for that.
An Israeli influencer.
Yeah.
Maybe she's
gonna like a post. She's like, I love the IDF.
Yeah.
I mean,
what?
I
they
think-
can't go into Gaza? Like,
I
what's
think
the big
she's
deal?
just an expert at rage bait. I think that this truly means like she is the one pulling the strings.
No, I think she thinks it's good.
She does not.
I think she
There's
thinks
no
it's
way
good.
that
She
she
is
put
gonna
this
make-
clip up and was like, I really ate
She's been
with
on
that
TV
one.
since she was like 10 years old. Like, that destroys you.
I don't know.
Look at all these famous people's kids, and they produce like awful media, and they think it's like fire.
She's going to make a song called Bunker Buster with Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey's husband.
Yeah.
With the writing credits.
Yeah. She's clearly detached from reality, but
So what if a few
I don't
guys
know.
can't go into the Capitol? Like, what? What's the big deal?
All right, let's do some super chats.
Shane H. Wilder said, Happy Pierogi Tuesday, Brett, Mary, and Tate. Brett, Walmart commented on my post about picking up the Person of Interest box set last night. Let's go.
What did they say? Like, what did Walmart's social media manager say? And does he dress as casually as the people who go into like who work at actual Walmarts?
I mean, it's probably run by AI.
Like, that's the thing, man. Like, even when you go into a Target now, they don't even have to wear like a uniform. They have to have like a vaguely red shirt and pants on, and that's like the only requirement.
That's an upgrade from Walmart.
I had
Oh
to
my
wear
gosh.
when I worked at Target. I had to wear khakis and red, and I haven't worn either color since.
I've seen you in red.
I have one red shirt,
Yeah.
and that's it. But I would never wear them together.
Walmart is off the rails. Like, my dad was in town, and we had to go to get like a specific desk that we
I
saw.
love Walmart.
And we're sitting in the parking lot, and we just sit there for like 10 minutes, and he looks at me, and he's like, are you ready to do this? Like we were going to war, like it was D-Day.
The meme, it's like when companies coming over and you switch out the Walmart bags in your garbage for the Target bags.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
literally me.
It literally feels like the picture from D-Day, like the jaws of death, and you're just running. Like, go, go, go!
Shane H. Wilder said, Oh, and Mary, did you hear the news everyone's talking about? Pope Leo said marriage is between a man and a woman. I know, I'm shocked as well. LMFAO.
He like dropped that at Friday at 5 p.m. to like avoid the avoid the backlash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
popes
I
do
don't
that,
know
dude?
why people are shocked at that.
Does the Pope save like his spicy stuff for like
Yeah,
Friday at
end of
5
day.
so he doesn't have to deal with the backlash?
That'd be
I don't
smart.
really know the context.
And did he get like because he had a Twitter account beforehand? Does he get like the Pope Twitter account? They do.
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
They
Someone
switch
else
over the
runs
Like
the
DM
login.
people.
Yeah.
You DM White Sox, like, great game, man.
Adam said, now wrote a poem on your experience when you ate it.
About the pierogies. I'm not doing that. You can't make me.
Yeah, that wasn't part of the deal.
All right.
Actually.
Let's move on. We got more stuff to get into today.
Lana Del Rey has just been bullied by her own fan base into making a political statement about Palestine. And it started out with a heartfelt post from her.
Whoa! We'll have to wait.
Thank
Hold
you.
please, we'll roll it back.
Speaking of Palestine, geez.
Lana Del Rey is standing on business at the beach
At the beach. With the large woman.
with the alligators that her husband uses.
Hi by the beach.
All right, let's
Okay.
run it back and start that one over again. We'll
Well-
wait for the lights to change.
Yep.
Hold, please, guys. We're gonna
Hold.
be back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, any day now. There we
Okay.
go.
Lana Del Rey has just been bullied by her own fan base into making a statement about what is going on in Palestine, following a post from her on Instagram that was actually about the flash floods in Texas and her reflecting on the tragedy of that situation. They felt it was inappropriate for her to comment on something like that, a domestic issue, without first acknowledging the suffering of the people in Gaza. Because, of course, you can't talk about anything without your comments being flooded saying, well, how can you care about X without saying something about Gaza?
Exactly.
So this was her original post. I want to say how sorry I am for so many people's losses in Kerr County and beyond in Texas. We've been thinking of you every day since the floods. All of my prayers are with you every moment of the day this week, and may all the angels be with you as you search for even more lost loved ones. I'm so sorry for everyone who's going through this. It's truly unprecedented, and I can't even imagine it. All my love. And what followed was a bombardment of comments from her own fans saying, this isn't good enough because you didn't speak on my pet issue first. And you're not allowed to talk about any tragedy without first acknowledging Gaza, maybe the femigenocide going on in the Congo. Ukraine, and go down the list. You cannot care about one thing without acknowledging the issues going on in the rest of the globe. But here was her follow-up to the negative comments. She said, and yes, of course, we pray for Palestine every day. I wish for peace between all nations, and I'm constantly up on all of the news between the Israel-Palestine conflict. I was very hopeful when we were getting close to a peace treaty, and that was my greatest wish as I've watched the news unfold from afar. It's always difficult to watch any innocent victims killed by crimes of war. There's never a good way of wording things that will make all people happy, but that is my personal truth. Politically, I do keep up, and I have been very much hoping for ceasefire. This is a long, ongoing conflict, and one that I've studied hard to understand. It's heartbreaking and unfathomable to think that there hasn't been a way to find some resolution. It's a topic of conversation in many of my daily conversations, and we're constantly considering what we can do to contribute in all situations like this. I always have been.
Her husband comes in, he's like, well, they're not our greatest ally.
So basically, she tried to put up a heartfelt post about fellow Americans
something
who are
in her
suffering
zip code,
losses.
something closer to her.
Well, I think she's in Louisiana now that she's married to the alligator tour guide, Jeremy Dufresne. So she's, put on a Southern accent, and this is her culture now. I would understand why she felt particularly convicted to talk about the flash floods going on in Texas rather than the war across the globe that doesn't personally affect her. But this wasn't good enough for her fans who claim to support her. They actually only support her insofar as it allows them to control her, and that goes for stan culture in general. Their love for you, their affection for you only exists as a weapon of control, and they will hold it over your head at any given moment when it presents an opportunity to bully you into speaking out on their pet political issue, and this time it was Palestine. But some people were defending her. One said, how was putting a heartfelt post up about this tragedy in Texas have anything to do with the troubles in Palestine? Lana shouldn't have to add further comments just to appease certain people. Shall we list Ukraine, Congo, Syria, Yemen, and many more ongoing wars? They are all heartbreaking, but she was expressing prayers in this instance, the devastating floods. Celebrities are feeling forced to mention the Palestine conflict to fend off incoming judgmental, angry comments, and still the trolls come out of the woodwork.
The best response was something like, Palestine? What about East Palestine? We never heard anything about that either.
Yeah. Another one said, I understand now why celebrities don't talk about certain things. Every time they try to help, a bunch of people show up in the comments saying, why don't you talk about this instead? Instead of helping, they just criticize. It's annoying.
It's literally the meme of like, I like apples. Or like, oh, so you say oranges suck? Well, fuck you. That like, it's literally, it's a meme, but it's a meme because it's true.
Yeah. She's like, I feel sympathy for these people who are suffering in my country. And they're like, oh, so you hate people who are suffering in other countries? You cannot win.
Checks out.
You simply cannot win. And maybe the wise decision for her in this case would have been to just actually not post anything at all.
Yep.
And if she does care about this issue, which it seems that she genuinely does, private
accounts.
Privately donate. To the people who need it.
No, I think what they need to do is they need to accept that what they want is the fame. What you can do is you can make these posts, but you have a private account that you only allow certain followers, and it's your friends and your family and your loved ones, and you can go and say the things that are semi-political or this type of heartfelt message there, where, Grandma Dufresne will not say anything negative because you didn't bring up Palestine, East Palestine, Ukraine, Uganda, or any other place in the world.
Funnily enough, her Instagram, it's at Honeymoon on Instagram. She is actually put it on private for the majority of the time that she's been active on there.
She
privates the account so that people who are random that don't follow her or support her are not going to flood her comment sections with a certain agenda. I don't know why she decided to take it off of private, but she still continues to get hate for being married to Jeremy Dufresne, who is an outspoken Republican and Trump supporter.
People hate alligators.
People hate
They're
gators.
just bigoted against Cajun people.
That would be my guess, right?
No, but I mean, the reality is, as soon as the news came out that she was dating him, as soon as the news came out that she got married in Louisiana, people went and stalked him and his entire family on Facebook. And uncovered his political beliefs and then the political beliefs of his family members, stuff about the breakdown of his previous relationship to the mother of his children. They were stalking his children online because these people are deranged. Truly, they see no boundary, and they don't see a celebrity like Lana Del Rey as a person.
Andy Panda might be right. Maybe what's going to happen is this guy, Jeremy Dufresne, is going to provide the alligators for Alligator Alcatraz, and it's all one big scheme from the government. It's cronyism at its finest to give Lana Del Rey's husband a contract with the government.
Some of the comments from her fans, she's a Zionist. Why did she change? She never made any comment that would suggest she's a Zionist or even close to it. She literally just didn't post about it because it's not her place.
Yeah, like there's Israeli and Palestinian soldiers, and then they get the alert that she's picked a side.
No!
Another one said, didn't she marry a Trumpy?
A Trumpy?
Like Mossad saw the comment, and they're like, No.
Invite her over to
get the wall ready.
So some people are claiming that Lana actually signed a petition for Israel and spent money toward an Israeli cause. Okay. So I'm looking at that now. It says a full list of celebrities demanding the release of Hamas hostages. So that's not the same thing as signing a petition for the IDF and donating money to the IDF.
And if you pay taxes, you already donate money to the IDF.
They included in this Bradley Cooper, Amy Schumer, Gwyneth Paltrow, Chris Rock, Justin Timberlake, Madonna, Mila Kunis, Katy Perry, Will Ferrell, a few of the dozens of stars who have backed a new campaign called #NoHostageLeftBehind. The
hashtag.
That was back in 2023. Yeah, everything is just a hashtag.
It's gotta be.
But it was a petition that was technically an open letter from celebrities to Biden back when he was still
I don't
in office.
think people realize how many young men really like Lana Del Rey, and bullying her, you might accidentally start like a death squad that comes after you. People do not realize the loyalty that a lot of schizophrenic young men across this country
what does
lift a lot.
What does Waffle House have to say about this? That's what I want to know.
They're probably mad.
They're her employers.
Like if you go to like a gym and you see a dude that's yoked, he's right wing. I guarantee you Lana Del Rey is on his playlist.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if they're kicking a
so
beehive
does that
here.
mean Lana Del Rey is the Zoomer Megan Fox?
No,
it's not. It's more of like a maternal thing. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I don't.
Well, that doesn't sound very.
My views
that
on
sounds Oedipal.
My views on it's very like Freudian, but my views on her are very complicated.
I can tell. So
very confused.
I also want to acknowledge that Lana Del Rey has courted a particular audience that is more likely to attack her like this. She has made plenty of political statements in the past, mostly regarding U.S. domestic politics, especially about Trump. She participated in a hex against Trump, I believe, back in 2017.
Is that video from Cringe of the Day? Was that what that was?
Maybe something similar. I don't know what it means to hex Trump, but it clearly didn't work. And this is a comment from back in 2018 that she sent to Kanye West when he expressed support for Donald Trump. She said, Trump becoming our president was a loss for the country, but your support of him is a loss for the culture. I can only assume you relate to his personality on some level. Delusions of grandeur, extreme issues with narcissism, none of which would be a talking point if we weren't speaking about the man leading our country. If you think it's all right to support someone who believes it's okay to grab a woman by the beep, just because he's famous, then you need an intervention just as much as he does. Something so many narcissists will never get because there just isn't enough help for the issue. Message sent with concern that will never be addressed.
All right, I'll speak on behalf of her. She didn't mean that. She didn't mean it.
It was the heat of the moment.
What's-
Throwaway
yeah, it's
comment.
like-
She didn't mean it.
Somebody of Trump or Kanye's level of fame, imagine how would they even have delusions of grandeur?
Yeah, they have
Like-
grandeur.
Like they have the
Yeah, that's not the delusion. They're just actually
just
great.
Trump's like I can move economic markets with a tweet and set people off the world over. That's not
It's just
delusion.
And
observation
Kanye-
of
actual
grandeur.
grandeur.
Kanye,
Observation
at
of
least
grandeur.
at the time,
Yeah.
was still a billionaire,
Yeah.
fashion mogul. His impact
He's like,
on the
have you
culture
seen
cannot be
the-
understated.
He's like, have you seen the absolute atrocities I've gotten people to put on their feet and think they're cool?
Right?
Like, have you seen the shoes that I've put on people's
Like,
feet and
that's not
gotten them to
delusional.
leave the house in?
That's just
It's ironic,
that's
though,
assessment of grandeur.
And she
Very
said
different.
that he needed an intervention when this comment was sent in 2018, 2 years after Harley Pasternak locked him up, and then Kim Kardashian making medical decisions for Kanye at the time when they were married, then allowed him to be drugged with lithium, and he was diagnosed with exhaustion and then bipolar disorder. And I guess it because it wasn't known at the time what was going on behind the scenes, she couldn't have known, right?
Maybe
But
she's gonna join the America Party with Elon Musk.
maybe.
It's possible.
Her and
it's
Jeremy will run for office
socially
together.
liberal, fiscally conservative is the tagline.
It's never been done before.
Right.
That's like
for the last 70 years of
We've
politics.
never tried it.
like most people in America. It's like it's not even that they're socially liberal; it's that they just don't care what you do in your free time.
and their
they're
issues-
they're like selfish, and they're like, look, I got my own stuff going on. I don't give a crap what you do. Like that's a healthy thing to be. It's healthy to not care what other people are
And
doing.
their issues like the debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll fire me up. Yeah, I don't care. Just spend it.
All right,
Yeah,
so
anyway.
look, we're gonna ignore the 2018 comments.
Yeah, no, she didn't mean that.
Yeah,
No,
she was like
She's
she was drunk
actually-
that day.
Yeah, she didn't mean it.
She doesn't strike me as.
Listen, her man
drunkard.
straightened her out. Listen, Lana, I don't want to see none of that woke crap.
He sends her.
We're going to Superman.
He sends her tweets from like DC Drano and Cat Toad.
I better not see you watching that Super MS-13 movie. Get that cape off. Hey, Gator, get off her. Get.
I'm telling you,
He's smacking the gator.
It's just cronyism, and he's providing the alligators for alligator Alcatraz.
I do love those because they do treat alligators like dogs. Like I went to the Everglades and the alligator was like trying to crawl up the boat. He's like, get, and he's like smack him on the nose. Like, bad boy, you know better. And the alligator's looking at him. So good.
All right, let's do some super chats.
Ulvin McGoth said, "Let it be known, I, Ulvin McGoth / the local Wendigo, started this pierogi campaign of bullying Brett into this PCC moment. Detroit has a lot of Polish food."
Huh?
Well, thank you. I didn't remember it was you who came up with the idea, but it went well. Shane H. Wilder said, "Brett, you can appreciate that there is a minor league baseball team called the Flying Chanclas de San Antonio."
I'm gonna have to get a hat from them. I'll have to break my rules. So all my baseball. Okay, so that's not true. My snapback hats, I'm a little bit more liberal with the teams I'll buy from. But as far as fitted hats go, they're all either the Minnesota Twins, the Seattle Mariners, or Minnesota farm teams, the teams that shuffle players out to play for the Twins. But I might have to make a rare exception for a minor league team that makes hats for the Flying Chanclas.
It's the San Antonio. They're called the Missions, but they always do these alter egos. So another one they had was the San Antonio Puffy Tacos. That was a really nice one. My favorite minor league team name is they're in the Mets farm. They're called the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. It's a really great name.
What does that even mean?
Oh, and then there's one in Pennsylvania. I think they're Wilkes Bar, and they're called the Trash Pandas.
I like that.
Some of these colors are a little bit too like dude wearing the Superman hat outside of the methadone clinic, but
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Like,
it's a very specific observation.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very. I'll say it for you. It's very Mexican coded.
I'll wear this one. This one I'd wear.
We can't see it.
Hold on, let me see.
That's the type of hat you see someone wearing when they're getting marched out of an ICE facility. That's
Like, I would wear that one. Yeah. Like the rest of them, like they're just a little bit too. Just no. Like I'm not wearing that hat. Oh,
it's very alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's giving.
It also looks like a Molotov cocktail.
That's even better.
That's how they're gonna Atlanta Antifa.
Gordon Shumway said, "Can we start calling Brett Igor now? He can have 2 henchmen called Igor and Igor, and then go party with the machine."
Okay.
I'm down for that.
Everyone
else does it.
In the chat, No Control brought up the Savannah Bananas. I've repeatedly tried to get tickets to a Savannah Bananas game, and they're so popular that you have to. It's basically a lottery. And
Are there scalpers?
I mean, I'm not gonna drive in hopes of getting.
You're pro Savannah Bananas.
I'm pro Savannah Bananas.
It's become a wedge issue.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, baseball.
I thought they were universally loved.
No, they're kind of perceived as like modern slop. In a lot of ways.
It is very. I mean, it's basically like a carnival / baseball game. It's very interesting.
I associate it like where millennials gut a kitchen and make everything white, like what do they call it, farmhouse chic.
It's
kind very
of
that aesthetic.
It's as far as like it's very modern millennial. Like they have to turn everything into some type of joke.
Like who would kill for a Savannah Banana ticket is Hub's Life.
Yes.
He would kill someone to go.
Now I
see what I'm
get
saying?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just ruined it for me. I've never.
That's what's going
I'm
on.
always gonna see them as cringe now.
It is. I mean, it is basically the Harlem Globetrotters.
No.
It's very Quirk-Chungus.
I mean, the dude does the backflip and catches the ball. That's very Harlem Globetrotters.
Baseball's already like fun. Like the Harlem Globetrotters is something different because the brothers are involved. I don't know, but
I still wanna see one of their games.
Oh, I mean, I would go. Like I went to NASCAR, but it was like fun. You go for the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
for the people watching,
it's a wedge issue. I'm unfortunately I've come down.
You've poisoned me against it.
Anti-banana.
I'm not like the thing is baseball fans love to argue with each other.
You're like, I'm not even a fan. You're like putting your hat and jersey aside. I don't even like them that much.
I mean, I've only ever seen the clips. I've never seen the game because I can't get tickets to it.
Yeah.
But I would go.
Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Super Hombre, the space Mexican."
Well, like I said, he's a Kansas man, and he's fine.
That's great. So they're saying because he's from outer space, he's an immigrant. That's the narrative.
Look, the real fact of the matter is he's more akin to like a child that's dropped off at a church with no information, and then the church, and then he gets a birth. Then he has to be adopted, right?
Because I had heard
Clark, Martha and Jonathan Kent found him, and he's got a birth certificate. He's an American. He's just not an American from.
He was part of the Reagan amnesty deal.
Yeah, basically. I mean,
yeah, I
have no idea if I'm pronouncing this right, but Toth Swiss said, "I went and bought all other Superman movies in protest of this one."
I mean, you're kind of funding the same people.
Yeah, that's you're still giving them more money to make more slop if you're not pro this Superman. Brian Bledsoe said, "Media just mad they didn't make Superman black." Is that it?
No.
They're getting revenge for the...
That's like saying that the media actually cares about social issues. I think they just want to make money.
Who was it, though, that was on the Black Superman movie that never came to pass?
Taika Waititi, or not Taika Waititi.
No, it was
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Right.
And
right.
Who was
that could have been a disaster.
That would have been awful.
Well,
yeah.
No.
No?
It would have been hilarious.
Yeah,
do you know how many videos I could have made about that?
Yeah.
Black Superman.
Like, we already had that. It was what's his name? It was it was Idris Elba in Hobbs and Shaw. He literally says, "I'm Black Superman," except he says in a British accent. I'm Black Superman.
No control.
Let's hold off on the rest, and we'll come back. Let's move on.
There are many problems that are plaguing Gen Z in the dating sphere, but we don't have time to go through a full dissertation of it all. One of the biggest problems Gen Z complains about in regard to dating is the fact that it is now prohibitively expensive, as we are on the brink of a recession, an economic crisis, and Gen Z is already broke enough. They can't afford to go on dates. I just came across this think piece. What does dating look like when no one can afford anything? It's not just something that affects dating, obviously. This is a larger cost of living crisis that affects multiple facets of your life. But they say the economic crisis is affecting nearly every aspect of our lives, including our relationships. In this economy, finding love can now cost a small fortune. Right now, the average American, this is insane, is spending over $2,200 a year on dates. That's kind of insane. I didn't expect most Americans to even be dating that actively. And that would average out to $168 per date.
Ugh.
Where are these people going?
Jeez.
What is that? Sounds fake to me.
It's like so it's like $40 to eat dinner and then like an 8-ball of Coke and.
I'm really confused who they are surveying, but they're saying this is the average cost of a date in America. They say cost of living is already high, and they say most people already struggling to afford bills, food, and rent. Who has the money to entertain a different Hinge date every week?
Well,
the current state of our economy is changing what dating looks like. A 2024 survey found that because of inflation, some people are spending less on dates while others are going on fewer dates altogether. Others are switching up typical dates to fit within their budget.
Well, the average is probably like 40, 50, but then Drake like shoots up the mean because he's spending like millions to rent out Dodger Stadium.
I mean, I guess if they're averaging it out, then you might include
Drake
some
and
really
Bezos
absorbent
jacking it
costs
up.
in there.
Dingus Khan says Cheesecake Factory. Well, that was a bone of contention like 2 years ago, whether Cheesecake Factory was an acceptable first date spot.
I think that the main issue with it is, first off, you're meeting this person for the first time and you're both gorging yourselves on 5,000 calories apiece, so that's not really sexy. And second of all, I think that most women would probably prefer you like looking for a restaurant that's not a chain restaurant.
Yeah, you want to go to Olive Garden?
Like, they would prefer maybe something that's the same price point but less generic than a Cheesecake Factory. But the main problem, in my opinion, is like you're both going to weigh 10 pounds heavier leaving the establishment.
And then you're like, remember, this is water weight. Like,
yeah.
You could be a plus size model after this.
But now people are looking for cheap date ideas such as
how do you feel
picnics.
about movie for a first date?
That's a bad idea.
I understand the logic behind that, behind the idea that you're going to go for 2 hours
but you're not
and you're not going to talk about anything. But the idea is like you take them to a movie and then you discuss it afterwards, and you can learn a lot about a person's worldview.
You watch Superman on your first date.
You're like,
oh,
Kansas man. Oh, okay.
Right, like you
That's
can't
what Jeremy
just.
Dufresne did.
How do you discuss it afterwards?
Well, you go out afterwards.
Yeah, you have to pair it with something else,
You
which
fire
makes
on
it double the
pop culture
expense.
crisis and get the analysis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that just makes it double the expense, though.
It's true.
I mean,
how is
I
that-
wasn't going from the money perspective. I was just saying about the efficacy of a movie as a first date, which is hotly debated. But continue.
I honestly don't think it's even an unpopular opinion. Most people are pro as long as you go to the movie first.
You should talk during the movie, so that way it's you
Yeah.
guys against everybody there.
Speaking of Black Superman, sorry. One of the comments is great. Like their proposal for what an actual good date looks like.
Okay.
Puzzle nights with edibles and a good comedy.
The most millennial.
Oh, I would harm myself if that happened to
is
me. That
so
sounds
up-
like hell.
Why would you take edibles with a stranger?
Well,
That's extremely
yeah.
at their house.
While
Yeah.
Stomp Clap plays in the
That
background.
is
Yeah, with
actually
a good
like
comedy.
you're risking your life, actually, like to go to someone's house you've never met before and then taking mind-altering drugs.
Yeah, that's what brought Cosby
That's
down.
not a good idea.
You're doing puzzles while you're on drugs, watching like John Mulaney in the background. Like that sounds like that's what's going on at Alligator Alcatraz.
I think like
making them
more
do
likely
puzzles.
than anything, people aren't getting creative with date ideas. They're just opting out. They're not dating because it's too expensive.
Yeah.
They're not coming up with alternatives. One of the comments even said that, just stay single. It's cheaper emotionally and financially. You can probably tell yourself the reason is
that
the
weighs on
monetary
you.
cost, but it's
Yeah.
also just a general attitude of avoidance around dating that Gen Z has, an attitude of commitment phobia, etc. 60% of Gen Zers have said they wouldn't spend more than $50 on a first date, and 96% of millennials said they also wouldn't spend more than that on a first meet of from like a dating app. And then there are 77% of daters saying that dating would be easier if they had more money, with some going on fewer dates due to inflation. And then there's the obvious controversy of who pays for the date, which is still hotly debated. And it seems that attitude actually about splitting 50-50 hasn't changed in the generations as they get more liberal. This was a piece in the New York Times. For Gen Z, an age-old question, who pays for dates? Young people tend to lean more liberal on a range of issues pertaining to relationship norms, but when it comes to dating, the idea that men should pay still prevails in heterosexual courtship.
It's always an a la carte menu when it comes to these types of things. They're like, I'll take a little bit of the equal pay.
Yeah.
Oh, pay on the first date.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair to the Gen Z women, they didn't actually spearhead the feminist movement. They were born into it.
And guys, you should pay on them. You should pay.
Why is that your take?
We're splitting the cost of the edibles.
Look,
right? Like Venmo me for the edibles.
Yeah,
like,
sounds awful.
I don't have a way to put it into like a really, really well phrased sentence. You just it just makes the most sense.
So it's just an intuition
it's
thing
an intuition
for you?
that like look, I'm not saying that it's not like a world of bullshit now where there's probably people out there who will take advantage of you for doing that, but it's just like the chances of getting the second date with a woman who's just like, and then he made me split on the first date. Like I guess I just think of it as just it's your responsibility.
There are these...
Then you can tell her to do the dishes, okay? After that, you can be like, okay, but when we get married, you're going to do the dishes and you're going to do all the cooking.
But there are jackals out there. I saw a TikTok of a girl, and she lives in New York, and she's like, I don't try new restaurants. I just go on Hinge, and I get to try them for free.
Well, you're going to find that more in a place like New York City than
That's where everyone lives. That's the problem.
I've always had this take. I am just a very intolerant person, and the idea of having to spend an hour or even more than that with a stranger who I'm not interested in, who is probably boring and annoying, just for food, is not even like, I wouldn't even find that appealing. I am not like driven by free food. Eating is a cost in and of itself for me. So
yeah, but that's still a thing now.
I don't understand the impulse, and I don't know if it's as common as people even say. Because I'm guessing there are a lot of women who probably dread the thought of spending time with someone they dislike at a restaurant just for food. I think that's more of a scare tactic that is spread by like manosphere types. But I just came across this interview with Charlie Kirk. He's talking to the hosts of the Iced Coffee Hour about this specific debate, and he's saying basically that this co-host is a beta male because he doesn't pay on dates. And Charlie Kirk is married, by the way. He's talking to two guys who are not married.
They want to be taken care of. I know this is like super provocative. But like deep down, they want a man to be able to provide for them financially.
Should a man pay on the first date?
100%. Like, what kind of a wuss beta male is splitting the check? But, like, who are you? It's like, I'm just sorry. It's I would go into debt and like scrub dishes before a woman paid for it.
I split the check quite a lot.
So I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you. You guys are great. That's incomprehensible to me. I think that's
to me. I thought it was a great financial decision. Just
okay, so from your prism, I totally get that, and like you have.
He's like, so you're broke. I get it.
Really good financial discipline. I'm sorry. Like I would be so humiliated if
I'm more with you.
I mean, it's like I find that to be like the greatest beta male like humiliation.
To save money?
To like the idea that a woman that you're trying to court. Now, if it's like a friend thing, or
as a first date, you don't even know if she's like
matter.
The quality.
It does not matter. I'm sorry. By the way, that money you save is not worth the honor that you compromise.
It is such a big deal.
It's a massive deal. Women.
Dude, that was.
I mean, it may seem unfair, but he's right.
So you think, like, directionally, you're kind of on Charlie Kirk's side with this?
Like,
no, but the other guy didn't care about like the gender roles. He was just like, I can save some money. Yeah, he's just nickel and diamond.
He might have like a pocket menu of women who are just like, wow, I like how he doesn't give a crap. Like, I like how fiscally responsible he is. This is a man who's gonna have a 401k and then some.
He's just picking up Dave Ramsey.
I just feel like maybe this guy wouldn't be on so many first dates if he just
paid for the first date.
Yeah,
that's kind of like, I guess that was kind of that's the way I was thinking of trying to put it into words, is like it's the price you pay to limit how many first dates you have to go on.
Look, he's ending really bad. I had a friend I won't say where he lived because then everyone will know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
And he went on a first date and he got fired up about this whole thing. He was like, no, I'm going to make her pay. 'Cause I always pay for the first date. First, they go to Logan's Roadhouse.
Make her?
Yeah.
How do you make someone pay?
Well, at first they went to Logan's Roadhouse.
He's like, oh, I forgot my wallet.
Logan's Roadhouse.
They both got
That's quite a choice.
And he got ribs on the date. And then so we text him after it goes through. We're like, did you get her to pay? Okay, it wasn't like a very conservative area. And he's like, well, did your plan work? And he's like, she threatened to shoot me. So he's just covered in ribs, just like, you're paying, right? And it just gets threatened.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I think this only works if you're in specific regions as well.
Here's the thing: people in the chats keep mentioning where women are not equal to men, and this is like, no. This is one of the things in the world where it is simply the way that society has evolved is unfair to men, and that's just the way it is. You gotta bite the bullet.
Well, no, I mean it's not because of anything being unfair. It's because
no, I'm saying that
men and women are different, and the people who deny those differences are stupid, but. Yeah. They're still, I mean, regardless of what someone says in their words and how they express their worldview, obviously they're going to act a different way. They're going to act in a way that is in accord with reality. And even the women who talk a big talk about being empowered and feminist and blah, 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 of course, yes, they want to be taken care of and they want the guy to pay on the date. Like, it's not a mind-blowing revelation. Of course,
Bro,
they want to
just,
be women.
Pay on the date and then siphon gas out of her car afterwards to make
and
up
if you really can't, if you can't stomach it, just say it's Trad.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Right.
this is Trad. This is Lindy to do this, actually.
Like, I can't let you drive.
Yeah.
I'm protecting you.
I'm a statistics guy. You will get us killed, so.
Like, look, it's just, this is one that I have a hard time putting into words, but I feel like it's instinctual to men on a very deep level that it's your job to do it. And it sucks that the dating market has evolved into a place where there are scammers who just want a free meal. You ever see that story about the woman who's like gets mad because with her boyfriend because she brought like 9 friends to dinner for her birthday and he's like, I'm not paying for all of them.
Oh yeah, insane. Well, this reminds me actually of a conversation that we had a while back about proposals, where some people were saying women should be the one to propose.
No.
We put up a poll actually in the chat for you guys to respond and said, should men be the ones who propose? And it was incredibly split. I think maybe it's close to half and half.
What?
Of the audience said that men shouldn't propose.
And what?
There were a lot of people.
Trolling.
No, like seriously, people were super chatting. I remember that episode saying that women actually should be the ones to propose.
Even like liberals.
I don't
even
know
do
if that was just people trying to rage bait or be
they're
sensational,
rage
but
baiting.
like
even liberals don't disagree with men proposing. That's like just
seems like
psychos.
liberals have more trad relationships than a lot of conservatives.
Yeah, it's
these
true.
days.
A lot of my friends that are liberal are married with kids, and I'm picturing like first date Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. He's like, oh crap, forgot my wallet. She's like, oh.
Well, I mean, they almost certainly like share a bank account. So.
Well, no, I'm saying first date. First date, he's like, oh crap.
Well, that's another strong debate that people have about once you get married, should you have separate bank accounts? And I believe you have bonded yourself to this person forever. You absolutely should bond yourself in every aspect of your life. You should have a shared bank account, 100%. But people on both sides of the political aisle will say that's a bad idea. The liberal women will say that you should have a separate bank account because, your husband could always just turn into a maniacal villain overnight and you need to escape him and you can never trust a man. And then a lot of the men on the more like conservative side of the aisle will say you should have separate bank accounts because otherwise your wife is gonna mooch off of you, which is insane as well. Like
the 2 bank accounts just means you have your foot out the door at all times. That's all that means.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's never I will not allow Olivia to pay for any type of like I would be embarrassed to go to the waiter and be like, oh, it's on her.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Like at one point she's like I'm gonna buy us like ice cream when we were out, and I was like, I can't. I'm sorry. And like the lady who was working the counter at the ice cream place is like, yeah, good idea, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no, just no. Like, it's in today's society, you may not be expected to go out and hunt water buffalo, but you can pay for dinner.
Yeah.
People know this. People understand this. Like, it was a famous King of the Hill episode where Hank gets a motorcycle and him and his wife, they join a biker club, and he like goes to the bathroom, he comes back and his wife's in the front seat. He goes, "Duh, Peggy, that's the bitch seat." It's like everyone understands the gender, like we get it.
Yeah.
So you're just lying to yourself if you're like trying to talk yourself out of it. It's like the men that are in favor of this, it's just from a position of like vitriol, where it's like we're getting revenge for the feminist stuff, and I'm like, it's just like it is what it is, dude. Do you really want to marry a woman that's like, I need to pay on the first date? Like, you don't want to marry that person.
Olivia Claire is in the chat. She said, "Bro paid for his own birthday dinner."
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, I can't. They're gonna be talking shit in the back.
What if she just gives you her card? Then would it feel like less bad?
Then I have to still go home and look in the mirror. Like, no.
Well, you feel how you feel.
Yeah.
And this is how most people feel.
I wonder how it works in the polyamorous. Is like if there's two males and one woman, is like the alpha pay?
Right.
Like, how does that work?
They draw straws. They just draw straws.
No, they just dine and dash. I think polyamorous.
That somebody in the chat said dine and dash on your first date together. It's a good experience.
It's a thrill.
Like,
It's a bonding
hold
experience.
hands and run out of the Denny's together.
Yeah.
This is why everyone's going to counter service, because everyone's dining and dashing. It's a big problem.
So we've answered your question. Gentlemen, pay on the first date.
Yeah.
Okay, let's finish up these super chats. No Control said beauty is in the eye of the beer holder. What does that mean?
It means like the more drinks you have, the lower your standards get.
I see. The Manic Mustache said, "Yo mama's in Alabama 8 and a California 304. Stay toxic, my friends."
Is that true? Not my mom. My mom's beautiful.
Shane H. Wilder
We have
said,
a 20 on Rumble from Grunmeister says, "I've got to correct you, Tate. Wilkes Bar is pronounced Wilkes Bear. If I lived
every
there
episode.
instead of 2 hours away, I would vote to delete one of the R's."
This happens every episode. I say something wrong.
Sorry, my
I had to do a lot of talking. I forget things.
Like, I've just kind of like, I have a lot of respect for the people that like take the time to get the names pronounced correctly.
Yeah.
It's all vibes.
Yeah.
Like when I was doing the F1 review, I was like, Damson Idris. Hope that's how his name's pronounced, because his name's not Damon. I thought it was
Damone.
Well, it's Damson with an S. I'm like, that's not a name.
What? That's not.
I like that name.
It's I was like, is that how it's pronounced? I have no idea. It's
Damn
like,
son.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say and be like, if I'm wrong, much apologies. I'm not gonna check though.
That's
Plus,
me every time I read a foreigner's name. I'm just like, oh, here we go.
And everyone knows that if you try to go on YouTube to find the pronunciation, it's like, here is how you pronounce this name. I am about to say.
Yeah.
And then
this
you have
name.
to watch 2
30
ads.
seconds later,
And then
he
they're
might
like-
start actually pronouncing it.
But first, let's throw it to our sponsor, NordVPN.
You know who doesn't pronounce your
It's
name wrong?
horrible. You ever see like a Nigerian name? You're like, oh, I'm gonna say this. I hope it's not a slur, but we're gonna try it anyway.
Always sound like that.
Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said, if a dude comments on another dude's photo, it's usually about where they are or what they're doing, or just to say, ha, gay. I mean, is that true? I don't know.
I mean, I
anymore.
don't.
What was it?
I
Sorry, I
don't
wasn't
go
locked
and
in.
look at pictures of.
So you're not. I mean,
dudes and-
essentially, you're not commenting on your male friend's posts, being like, "You look so hot, bro." Like,
Oh, I do
Bro,
that,
you're
but that's just
killing
me.
it.
That's
Like,
just me.
bro, the downlighting is just.
Yeah, if I don't see the ladies, giving them the correct treatment, then I'll get in
you
there.
have to
and-
make up the difference.
Yeah, I'll go glaze a little. No problem with that.
Yurishima Otaru said, "Sedona is filled with hippie dippy wackos." I can imagine.
I believe that.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Why does JoJo sound like a post-op Tom Waits?" Yikes.
Here's the thing though about the hippy dippy wackos is like the hippy dippy wacko used to be a very soft ideal. Now you just think of somebody mean. When I think of the hippy dippy wacko, I think of a mean person who says mean things to you in
Yeah.
Facebook groups. I don't think of somebody soft and kind.
Right.
Well, they present as such.
Yeah.
Gordon Shumway said, "JoJo looks like a dolled up Honey Boo Boo." Whatever happened to Honey Boo Boo?
What
What's she
happened
up
on
to?
it? She's got to be in jail.
I think she actually ended up having kids.
Well, I mean, yeah, but where are the dads? That's the
yeah, I don't
question.
know.
Yeah.
Social Apostate said, "GR is known as the breeding. Grand Rapids is known as the breeding grounds for basic white women."
Is that true? I need to
With
haul on down to Grand Rapids.
The ones with the tapestry on their wall.
Oh, no, not that.
The other thing you could do, guys, if you go on a first date and it's horrible and you pay, then just like Venmo her a request for half later.
Right.
That's smart. That's smart.
Shane H. Wilder said JoJo's speedrunning heterosexuality faster than Mario.
Yeah.
It's impressive. Greg Duvier said JoJo is going to have an anti-Gongo arc.
Ooh.
I mean, forbid. I wouldn't be able to support her anymore. Shane H. Wilder said Walmart literally just said money well spent. Well, I mean, they care. They're person of interest fans. Social Apostate said, bro thinks if he moves the mic fast enough, we won't hear the fire alarm beep in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
all making sense now.
Olivia's just said in there, Brett, read my text. She says, tell them I firmly believe Grand Rapids is known for beers and queers. My
Beers and
source
queers.
lived there for 7 years. I don't know if that was all supposed to rhyme, but it did.
Beers and queers
Beers
lived
and
there for 7 years.
That was, you should write that and say that during our vows.
Yeah, work it in.
Greg Duvier, are you doing custom vows?
We
Well,
just-
I guess you don't have to tell me
we
right
just
now.
had,
Custom.
we
So
just
tough.
had this discussion yesterday. Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm
I
excited.
started writing
I wanna hear
mine. We had a whole discussion about how many serious ones versus how many humorous ones.
Oh,
and
you're going for humor.
I didn't want to do too much humor. She wanted to do some humor. We went back and forth. It was a whole thing. There's so many things. Like marriage is like weddings are a racket for
Oh,
like
yeah.
the businesses.
Oh,
like
yeah. It's a
there's all
shakedown.
this stuff that's getting done, and
and then
it's
every tradition you have to like make
there's
sure you
so
cover your
many
bases.
traditions that I didn't know about or didn't know anything
Yeah.
about. Like you just showed up and said I do and then left. Like it's not that.
Can you please open up your vows with, sure, here's a heartfelt wedding vow?
can do
That'd
that.
be so tough.
Just do ChatGPT.
That's
you
what I
know?
mean. Yeah, there's just like
but
leave
can
in the
you look-
intro.
just
It's like,
can you look
sure.
at this
Do
social
plenty
media,
of M dashes and you'll be good.
like look at this social media profile and tell me something interesting.
Greg Duvier
Grok?
said, I'm gone for 1 month and I lost my suitcase song. WTF, change it back. New song is lame.
No, we deleted it. It's deleted. It's
No,
gone.
that-
Andrew came in here and deleted it.
We're not bringing it back.
No.
Shane H. Wilder said lefty activists are unhinged. It's literally a you like Waffle House, so you must hate IHOP situation. Lana makes great music, and that's all I ask.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I kind of do hate IHOP, though.
IHOP is so mediocre.
Last time I went to IHOP, I was like, how does anyone choose this over Waffle House?
And they staff it with like a loony bin. I mean, it's like a rubber Ramada in there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You have like the Fentline when they're bringing my pancakes over.
It's like,
you go to Waffle House.
I made like some comments sometime where I was like, I don't really like IHOP, which wasn't even true. I just don't think about IHOP.
Yeah,
And
it's
Olivia was just like, she's like, what do you mean you don't like IHOP? It's like, because we go to Waffle House plenty.
It's like a stacked pancake that has like a bunch of weird like syrup sauces
yeah.
that aren't syrup.
Yeah, they try to get all avant-garde.
Yeah.
Waffle House is just like, here it is. You get what?
It's always the same. Like, I like that.
Here's your pancakes. Try to pay. If not, it's
Mhm.
whatever.
Rodolfo Morales
We're fighting
said,
next in an hour. Get ready.
first time seeing you live, I always imagined Brett looking more like Jonah Hill, Tate looking more like Adam Driver, Mary looks just as I figured.
Wait.
What?
Why do I have to like sound like Jonah Hill? That's
I have to
bullshit.
No, you don't sound like Jonah Hill. You sound like you look like Jonah Hill. Big
That's
difference.
worse.
Yeah.
That's worse.
And I sound like I look like Adam Driver.
That's good. That's good.
That's good, I
guess,
think. Yeah. I mean, I'll take it.
That means you were the perfect Snape casting that they
But
never
we're
did.
on our faces are on the podcast
Maybe he's Spotify
platforms. I don't know. On Spotify, I think our faces are in the cover.
I mean, if all he's doing is clicking on the episodes,
I
he's
guess
seeing
so.
the episode picture.
Or maybe he closes his eyes. He doesn't want to ruin it.
Rusty Shackelford said Born to Die is a freaking jam. Sucks she's a lefty freako. I wouldn't say she's a leftist. I think she's just generally like a bleeding heart lib and happened to marry a Trump supporter because it's not that serious to her. Like, she seems like she would be respectful of someone else's views.
I think she's just very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she's me. Awesome. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Dingus Khan said for minor league baseball teams, some other teams of note are the Sod Poodles and the Bung Hammers. Also, lucky enough to have tickets to the Bananas in St. Paul this year.
Damn.
Ooh.
Nice.
That's legit.
Brett's jelly.
I'm
Hammers.
pretty jealous.
I just want to know where the Bung Hammers are.
And is it a prison team?
No way. They're the Beer City Bung Hammers. They're just somewhere in Western Michigan.
That's funny. Shane H. Wilder said the Round Rock Express also changes their name to the Round Rock Chupacabras. It's a Texas Farm League thing.
Yeah. I used to go to a lot of missions games. My friend worked there, and he would just bring us free food.
Social Apostate said, Brett, I was just thinking it's a good time to be an honorary Michigander. Is that how I say it?
Yeah.
Because the Tigers are low-key going to the World Series, so that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I was given a Detroit Tigers hat for Christmas.
Are you honorary?
Nice hat.
I'm an honorary Michigander.
They've got a good hat. Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said, a movie first date can work if it's the right movie. My dad took my mom to Blazing Saddles to make sure she had a sense of humor. Wow.
Oh, that's a
while
good
ago.
vetting. It's like, if she doesn't
Like,
enjoy
will you
Space
laugh at
Jam.
this?
But
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
no good movies. Like, nowadays, if you just go and see a random new movie with a person on a
bring her
first date,
to-
it's likely to be shit.
No, you-
so
Yeah, that's
it's going to
true.
put you in a bad mood.
You go to a Fathom event replaying Rush Hour.
Yeah. Like,
Okay,
I'm going to take her to watch Cars, and if I look over, she's not crying. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You don't get it. You're so stupid.
I do legitimately cry when I watch Meet the Robinsons. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
That's
a good
is
one.
emotional. Brian Bledsoe said, okay, how about media hates David Zaslav?
Yeah, the media does.
I don't believe that's
they
what's
do hate-
happening behind it all, though.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. They do hate David Zaslav a lot.
It's all a shadow
but
campaign
the thing is,
against
the
him.
artists hate David Zaslav more than the media hates David Zaslav. The artists hate David Zaslav because he's like, oh, your project sucks. We're taking a tax write-off on it. Go to hell. Like,
Greg Duvier said men pay on for all dates. I'm not sure what that means. I guess you just mean men should pay. No Control said biology is unfair to women. Society responds. I mean, I wouldn't say it's unfair to be the sex that creates life.
Yeah, I was like, you guys.
I think that's actually like unfair to men. Cold Leftovers said men pay not just because the male provider BS, but it's usually the man setting plans. Don't invite someone then say, by the way, this is going to cost you money. Well, there's also like, from what I can tell, an epidemic of Zoomer men who will ask a girl out on a date and then, you know, they show up and they're like, so where do you want to, like, what do you want to do? Like, where do you want to
so
go?
funny.
And they just expect her to like come up with a plan.
That's awesome. I'm going to do that.
That is, yeah, like
I'm going to try that.
a reason to ghost someone
Gives me
afterwards.
something to do this week.
Adam said men should hold doors, pay for dates, and walk on the side of the road. Anyway, Mary, you want to grab some pierogies? No, I don't, but
But
I'm
he's
sure
right
there'll
about
be
the other
plenty
stuff.
of yeah. You're right about the rest of it, but go find another honey.
But we can't walk on the side of the road
You know,
because
just
our cities aren't
Go,
walkable
you know, you
anymore.
want to, so true. If the idea here is that you want to get her to spend money, go to the casino together and get her to gamble with you.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Just lose everything
Brilliant.
together.
Yeah. I didn't ever think of that.
Then you can build from scratch.
You just sit around like your phone on FanDuel. You're like, I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, you have any edibles left? This puzzle's got to get done. Hey, the comedy paused.
I love there's this ongoing series that I follow where it's like me and the bro betting on whether the person who answers the Gamblers Anonymous line is a woman. Now it's like me and the bro guessing whether the Gamblers Anonymous line will pick up in 2 rings.
Yeah, he goes, yes! It's like, oh, sorry, wrong number. That's such a great date idea. You invite a woman, you show up, and then you're just like on your phone. You're just like, I don't know. You think Katie's going for 30 tonight? I don't know. What do you think? I brought a puzzle and drugs. Average Grand Rapids date.
Do you want to like do drugs and gamble?
Yeah. You know, that would
you
be
have
it.
to phrase it that way.
This part of the country, that's a hit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a hit. Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said men pay for dates. The only exception is if you're married because it is no longer your money. It's our money. The man still needs to drop the card. What if you just like feel like LARPing one night and pretending that you're on a date and you're not married, and then she gets to put down the card and just see how people react?
LARP as libtards.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, you go to the casino and you hold the chair out for her to play blackjack.
I'll throw the chips down.
You're like, hold on, the drinks are on me, and you get her like a seltzer.
I didn't know casinos had free soda. Because I've never
Yeah.
been a casino person, and I just go and I had like 8,
I love that shit.
because I only brought $30 to bet with, and I lost it immediately. So I told Callan, I'm like, I'll be at the drink. So I just sat there and drank 8 root beers and like got really sick and went home.
Omega Red fan said that one King of the Hill episode where Hank fires a secretary for being on social media every day, then her followers harass the Propane HQ.
So
Brian
based.
Bledsoe said threatened to shoot me for asking her to pay. I might be into that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. You never know. No Diggity said let the Superchats create your vows. Wedding fund.
Oh, that's an idea.
It's never
you really
want to
leave it up to
never
chance?
going to happen. It's never going to happen.
No Control said unfair as in more difficult for women.
No.
Is it though? Like, I don't know. I feel like it just depends on the
I
person.
think it depends on who you are. Yeah.
Also, like, people were posting pictures from like Tim's wedding thing this past weekend, and people thought it was like our wedding.
Oh.
Like, this is like my wedding. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, Brett got married. I'm like, no, not yet.
You guys randomly just be like, oh, why not Chicago?
But it's also like none of their business.
I know.
You know, like why do you? What are you trying to find out about our wedding? You know. Shane H. Wilder said, I used to go see the Express when they were the farm team for the Astros. Got to see, what is this? Altuve play there when he was recouping from an injury.
That's space. Did you hear anybody hitting on trash cans? I don't know if you caught that.
That way, you know, that's how they win.
Yeah, that's true.
People were very.
It was a
upset about that.
coincidence, yeah.
Well, you know, it happens. I've seen some wild conspiracies about like teams cheating, like how they use home field advantage to cheat for things like that.
Yeah. I mean, well, because that was the whole thing. They're like, oh, they're stealing signs, and I was like, when I played like middle school baseball, the guy on second would tell you what the signs were, and then all of a sudden it's like a big problem that they're stealing signs.
Rodolfo Morales said, sorry, Brett, meant you sound like Henry Cavill.
Yeah, exactly.
Typo.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
I meant to say you
mistake.
sound really cool and like awesome.
That's what I sound like. Let's say it's like when you hear Henry Cavill talking his British accent, you're like, who are you really?
Oh yeah, when I found out Patrick Bateman had a British accent, I was so pissed.
Yeah.
So what do you mean you're not?
Really?
Yeah, he's Christian Bale.
Christian Bale is British?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
I had
so
no
That's why it's
idea.
funny because when he did his yelling at the dude on the set of Terminator Salvation, he yelled in an American accent.
He did?
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, good for you."
Wait, is he just like in character?
I mean, he's probably so intense he couldn't leave
Yeah.
character. He's like, I have to yell as if I was, you know, still playing an American.
And I remember they interviewed Christian Bale and they're asking about his movies, and he's like, actually, Patrick Bateman is not a good role model. And I was just like, no.
I mean, they'll never accept that people can find characters awesome even if they're not the good guy.
Literally, yeah. It's like one of the 5 movies I've seen, so of course I'm gonna base my personality on it. It's like that and Drive.
I do love those memes though of like him like into work with the headphones and they put like Spice Girls on when they're walking in.
It's me with Lana Del Rey going to do like freaking thumbnails for Tim.
Shane H. Wilder said the trash can joke again at TATE.
Sorry, you know, I just got to remind you guys about it because it seems like you guys are so anxious to move past it. It kind of reminds me of Pam Bondi with Epstein. Although I would say the Astros cheating scandal is a far bigger deal than Epstein.
I mean, why is anybody even talking about it anymore? It's over and done with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, big deal. We just won a World Series out of it. It's not that big of a deal. Like, whatever.
Did you see?
Why do you care so much?
Who was it? Who was it that wasn't wearing her chain?
Did you say it was Caroline Leavitt, or did you say it was
Leavitt.
Pam?
It was
Bondi.
It was Carolyn Leavitt.
Yeah, she had she wears a cross necklace, but then when she was talking about Epstein, she took it off.
That is kind of weird.
It's kind of weird, right?
Like when you mentioned that earlier, I was like, wait.
Like at that point, you're kind of being evil anyways. You might as well just leave it on.
Yeah, or flip it upside down.
Like.
I remember, like, what if she just, it was the one day she forgot it?
There was no, come on.
And she's like, oh, they're going to go crazy over this. She's like, crap.
Or people would say she intentionally left it off to send a message and she wants people to notice.
If I was in that type of a position of power, I'd do shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
like
blinking in Morse code during the press conference.
The joke, I was like, if I ever wanted to commit suicide, I'd make it look like a murder just to fuck with people.
Oh my gosh.
Frame it on your friend.
That's a little morbid, Brett.
Like just text your friend right before, like, dude, don't do it. Please don't do it.
You were joking earlier about how Brett is eventually going to go postal in this job because I'm constantly
She's
asking
like, capitalize the I and is. And I'm like, that's it.
No, I literally do like harass Brett like, you need to capitalize the I and is. It's the active verb. And you just never want to.
I know. Like I mean, and when I write my manifesto, all the times is and there will both be capitalized.
Any like
underlined
acronym,
twice.
like I want you to capitalize all of the letters in MAGA, and you're like, why?
Yeah, you gotta do that. That's my uncle. He just texts in all caps at all times. It's great. He'd be like, "Are you here yet?" And it's in all caps. I'm like, "Not yet."
What's with all the hearts in the chat?
Does
that mean something?
Somebody in there spamming us right now.
All right, thanks. I guess.
Just a J. That's an awesome username.
Sarenko says you should bring up awareness of the femigenocide in the Congo in your wedding vows.
That's a good idea.
Look, all right,
Well,
this
otherwise you're a bad
this is
person.
our day. I'm not doing that. Okay, they can suffer.
Well, for them, the femigenocide is every day, so the very least they deserve from you is some acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said, "I do own the World Series Blu-ray from that season and the baseball cap. They didn't age well."
They still make DVDs for that was like that was like what 2018.
You can still get DVDs at like Target.
But what do you play it on?
On a DVD player?
Yeah, but who has a DVD player anymore?
Good point.
I just everything that
I don't.
The thing is, though, I go to a lot of flea markets around here, and you could build a massive movie collection for very cheap. Like you can go to any flea market around here, and all the DVDs are $1.
It's impressive that the Fleas can assemble such a great.
Yeah, I know,
store.
right?
Yeah.
And I think about that not because I would ever want to take the time to watch them on the DVD, but there are a lot of TV shows that had great seasons where they did lots of audio commentary that I would like to have. So what I used to do is I would borrow stuff from BitTorrent.
I'll put it back. I'll put it back.
And then I would.
You went to Tubi.
And I went to Tubi, and then to get like seasons that I already owned, because I didn't want to actually watch it on a DVD player. I would want to watch it on a hard drive, so I didn't have to freaking put a new DVD in every 4 episodes. Plus, the DVD would have the audio commentary episodes. So then I would like handbrake and rip the audio commentary version and add it to the folder.
It's like we don't get bonus features.
Like, how am
anymore.
I supposed to believe that the FBI is going to come after me? There's not even an Epstein list. Like Kash Patel is not going to arrest me for
But yeah, they don't have bonus features. We lost that with DVDs. That's like I feel kind of like robbed of my inheritance right now.
Yeah.
I feel like Jacob and Esau.
No Control said flea markets are more impressive than ant farms.
What about alien ant farms? I'm the only one here who's going to get that joke because you guys are too young.
I did get it, but like I didn't appreciate it the way that
Do you remember Brett Warner? Do you remember the TV show Ant Farm on Disney?
Yeah.
That was the best show ever.
No, it wasn't.
It
It sucked.
No, I remembered it being pretty good.
No, it wasn't.
The teacher was cool.
No.
That school looks sick. You just go there and just like goof off all day.
Well, that was like every Disney show, but like China Anne McClain, was
Oh,
she really ever a star in the making? No.
Listen.
Like, where are they now? Nowhere. No one cares.
Well, who knows where she is now? But 2011.
That was like, I feel like that show is when I was officially like, yeah, I'm not into this shit anymore. Like they lost the plot.
The last show,
fell off.
the first show I remember that I was like, I'm done at Disney was Dog with a Blog.
Oh, yeah, that one too. It's just
they
awful.
started advertising that. I'm like, I'm too old for this.
Yeah, there was that one, and there was another. There was one about like twins, but they were both played by Dove Cameron.
Oh, I don't.
Or am I
remember that one.
wrong? Is that Dog with a Blog?
It might have been
No.
Dog with a Blog.
No, it wasn't.
Because I sat there, I'm like, I don't know, 13, and I'm like, dogs can't use computers.
And then after that, it was Sabrina Carpenter, right?
Was it?
On Girl Meets World.
I did remember I had a on my, I think it was on my Wii, I had a Disney dance game. It was like Dance Dance Revolution, and she was on that game. And I didn't realize until recently because someone posted on Twitter, and I was like, I remember that level. I remember that.
I bet you he was the one who watched our show from his Wii.
Oh, yes. One time we found out that there was one viewer watching us on the Wii.
That's so sick.
In 2023, I think?
I still wonder who that is. And if they're still watching.
It's probably Shane with his Blu-ray player.
Yeah, he said, hey, I own a Blu-ray player. Shut it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, like,
That's so
more
cool.
power to you.
Like, there's someone out there, like, checking the news app, like, oh my god.
We are almost at a second crisis party, boys.
We're, what, $3 away from a second crisis party.
Getting there.
We better make it before the end of this stream.
Yeah.
But we are all caught up on
So
the
he
super
says,
chats.
Tate asking, but what do you play the DVDs on?
It's a valid question.
I don't know.
No one has DVD players anymore.
I did see somebody bring up the Derek Zoolander School for Ants. It's if you've ever seen Zoolander, the Derek Zoolander School for kids who can't
been a
read
long
well and
time.
want to learn to do other things well too.
I need to rewatch Zoolander.
The first one is fantastic.
There was a second one?
I don't know if I ever watched the second one. Is it worth it?
I don't think I ever finished the second one. I knew that was never going to be
same cast.
Yeah, it was still Ben Stiller.
Just wasn't gonna happen.
See, real one's Ben Stiller. Jerry Stiller's the GOAT. Jerry Stiller carried every show he was in.
All right, guys, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video, please, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. There's a couple more Super Chats there.
The Manic Mustache said, only have a bank account because my wife forced me. I still don't have the card for it. Oh, so she handles all the finances. Interesting. Francisco Sanchez
She was looking
Jr.?
for a man not in finance. He was looking for a woman in finance.
Yes. Francisco Sanchez Jr. said, what?
I don't know.
Just wondering. Yeah.
I don't know. King said, fine, I'll do it.
Yep.
Thank you. We're going to be awaiting the second party any minute now. Culture Casino said, I have a Blu-ray DVD player.
Oh, I didn't realize there was such a big community out there.
Culture, are you excited for Superman? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat because I'm definitely wondering if people are excited for it.
Rodolfo Morales said, second Crisis Party. Should happen.
It's going to happen. All right, guys, again, hit the like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed here yet already. Tate, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter or X and Instagram at RealTateBrown. I did put a tweet out yesterday saying when I hit 1,000 followers, I will start telling some of my Africa stories. So there's some pretty good ones.
That's exciting.
So yeah, get in there. Get in there. Be ready for it.
All right.
You guys can send me validation on Instagram at MaryArchived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also MaryArchived. And help make me TikTok famous. That is also MaryArchived.
Perfect. I guess I'll just kind of NPR outro.
Oh, we have another from Shane. Nah, I watch from the PC, phone, or Roku.
Always good with the Roku. Got to pack my Roku for whenever I travel next. Guys, if you would like to follow me, I am on Instagram and on X, at Brett Dasovic, on both of those platforms. This show is 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, of course, noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than watch the show, you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. That also helps the channel out a ton. And if you want to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook at popculturecrisis, Instagram at popculturecrisisPod. Guys, I guess you'll have to stay tuned for a post-credit crisis party. Should be up any second then, so stay tuned. There we go. Scared him. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.